see her rolling up, Uber black Cadillac, high heel boots, and a sexy body.
So Ricky, I'm starting the cold open now.
Now we're starting recording?
As you light your cigarette, that's what I go for.
Okay, cool. Hold on. There you go.
Don't set fire to your microphone.
That one's
Newports.
Okay, so all of us probably spend a significant amount of time on YouTube, if I had to guess. And,
Wrong.
I said if I had to guess.
I'm just telling you, you guessed wrong.
Well, some of us can't read small text on a movie poster either. But either way, the point is, I'm getting really fucking tired of these AI voice generated ads that one are not only pointless, but they're basically infomercials.
Dude, I know you're talking about the games. I found the one game that actually plays the way they show you, like that stupid shit.
Okay, not just that one. This is in general though, but there's like 4 in particular that I get constantly, and one of them is not AI generated, but you can tell the dude is just not real. And it's like, do you want to look like this? Quit doing cardio. You know, that fucking nonsense where he's like, you're all trying to lose weight wrong. Do it this way. And by the way, I looked into that one, which it was like, try my quick 30 question quiz, and it'll lay out exactly how to make.
Oh, you're talking about the dude
weight.
bro guy. I know who you're talking
that guy, yeah. And I looked into it, scam.
Dude, I'd love to get ripped like him though, man. That motherfucker's cut like a goddamn steak.
Yeah, surprise, surprise, it's a scam. I love how he in that infomercial, he literally says, "Don't do intense workouts like I'm clearly demonstrating." Like he's running full speed on a treadmill with like 25-pound weights in each hand. It's like, don't do this. I was like, yeah, clearly not going to do that. But then the other one that I keep getting all the time is it's in a vaguely AI British accent, and it's like, this simple hack, this simple ice hack to lose weight at night.
Yes, the ice water thing in the morning
water,
time.
Yeah, or at bedtime, whatever it is.
Yeah,
so bad. I'm like, but my biggest pet peeve about it is, at least with an infomercial, they eventually got to the point at some time in the infomercial. These things will literally plot on for 9 minutes and never get to the point. Just sign up to this, click on the link below, click on this thing, and we will tell you for $29.99 this exact hack, this exact hack that will give you exactly what you want and you've always wanted. Do you want to date hot singles in your neighborhood? Never mind, that's a different ad.
Sounds like your algorithm is set to something you'd be looking at, dude.
Different website.
Hot workout guys and singles in your area. My shit don't do that to me.
I'll just go down to the gym if I want to see that.
Oh, gross.
I get rusty trombone ads now, thanks.
That would be awesome if you did.
Hey, Rusty.
I did. I got in my TikTok feed of all things. I ended up with this weird 30-second. It was like a quiz show, and the host was asking this older woman, like could have been your grandmother, what does this term mean? And the first thing that they asked her was, what's a rusty trombone? And she's like, analingus while being masturbated. And I went, oh my God, why is this in my TikTok feed? I know why. I know why.
Yeah, because you Googled it like an idiot.
But okay, Rusty, I'm going to tell you something right now, and do not Google it.
Okay.
Blue waffles.
Not that either. Do not Google an Alabama Hot Pocket.
Yes.
Oh no.
Oh look, we've been talking about all this. We've been talking about all this train shit. Okay, off this jokey shit. But we've been talking about all these wrecked trains and all these fucking toxic waste things and all this shit recently. You need to look up Cleveland steamers, man. Those things are fucking nuts. Like, you really want to get into some train shit, Rusty?
I swear to God, he's Googling it, and I told him not to.
I'm not.
Okay, don't be looking down at your phone, because I swear to God. Actually, I just realized that Ricky's audio was not set to auto for whatever reason, but it was cranked up to like a 190.
Nice.
Cool.
Yeah,
probably from when I was on the Romatin, because
these are my settings, not yours. This didn't come from you, because every time you guys come into here, you are a new instance of yourself.
Yeah, I don't like the auto thing because it turns y'all up and down in my earphones too, and I don't like that.
Yeah, well, I have to have it for Rusty, because at least on Discord, his audio and Mike too down there, because both of them, for some reason, their audio doesn't translate from Canadian. It's in Canadian
Only
volume.
Rusty and Mike have an issue. Let's figure out if we can find the tie that puts them together.
I think it's fascism.
Well, no, it's
it's
Canadian government.
It's your communist internet.
No,
that everybody has to share and one person pays for.
Yeah,
it's
you
because
share.
it's because we use the metric system. That's why.
Yeah,
That's what it
metric
is.
volume. It's
The
metric
audio
volume.
wavelengths
Hey,
are different in size because they use metric instead of standard lengths.
Metric. Yeah, metric measurement is communism.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
That's why the British invented it back when they were communists.
Just like opposing thievery is white supremacist.
Mm.
You should have seen that ad.
Now who made it awkward? That was a fucking reach.
As far as I know, anything and everything everywhere somehow. I wasn't going to say it out loud, but you know, if we were actually live, YouTube would take us down right now.
Yeah, we're an
But we're
ist
not.
or a phobe or a something. It don't matter.
I know Mike is at least 2 of those.
Oh, sure.
You haven't been here in weeks.
Yeah.
So we got to make fun of you. We have to condensely make fun of you now.
I mean, technically, I'm a phobe. I'm an arachnophobe.
That's right. Good luck with that.
I do not
same
like
here.
spiders.
I hate spiders.
Hating a spider and being scared, irrationally scared of the spider.
Well, here's the thing: if I see the spider,
scared.
I will just kill it. But like, if I went to grab my mic and there was a spider on the back of this here, and it just ran across my hand, I would fling it like this, scream like a girl, and run that way.
But see, it's not necessarily irrational to be scared of something that could hurt you.
Yeah, it's not irrational, especially here, my back porch. I can walk you around right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 black widow's nests built inside my fucking screened-in porch because they get up in that little corner.
You should probably kill those.
Burn it with fire, dude.
They kill all the bugs.
Fire's good.
Sure.
Yeah.
They kill all the bugs. I wait till their egg sacs get really big, and then I go in there with a stick and clean them out and get rid of them. But then the parents just rebuild and eat more bugs.
Yeah, you like cleaning out those sacks with sticks, don't you?
Yes, because there's bazillions of fucking
Damn
spiders.
hold on, let me rephrase that. You like using a stick to clean out those
sacks.
There we go.
Much better.
Editing that one back.
No,
are they not poisonous?
They're venomous.
Oh yeah,
black widows.
Yeah.
No, they're poisonous.
No, they're venomous.
What's the difference?
Poison is ingest, venom is inject.
Is if they inject it into you.
That's the easiest way to remember. Poison is ingested, venom is injected.
I'm sorry, can they kill you?
Yes,
potentially.
Cool.
And that's one of the reasons why I don't like spiders, because anything this little that can drop something my size fucking within an hour is no bueno.
I just hate the fact that some of them have like 8 eyeballs and they're like staring.
They all do. They're arachnids.
Some have some of them have odd numbers of eyes, which is even weirder.
Spiders?
Yeah.
No, they all.
I've seen one that has
either 6
9
or 8.
Like, I've seen some that have like a single one middle of the back. Like,
is it a fake one that's supposed to like fake out predators and shit?
No. That would make sense. But then again, it's so tiny. Superfluous eyes. Like the other, like the second glass eye, like the second eye in Superfluous.
This is the weirdest fucking podcast ever. I just want y'all to know that we're here to talk about nerd shit, and somehow we're off on fucking the Wild Kratts show.
Yeah.
Well, remember we started with rusty trombones,
and got the spiders with fake eyeballs.
Lord Green's Wild. What was it? What was the show that he had?
I don't know. I don't know what you were getting at there.
Lord Green. It was like a nature show that he used to do way back when.
Dave Attenborough's Wild America or Wild World or whatever that shit was.
Hold on, wait. Lorne Green had a nature show?
Yeah, he did.
Oh,
no.
I have no idea. Rusty, Google.
What am I Googling?
Cleveland Steamers.
Lorne Green nature show?
Cleveland Steamers.
By the way, I thought arachnids had to do with the number of legs.
It does.
Well, it does.
And it has to do with their body type and their eye builds. It's like a whole bunch of shit.
Which is why some things we call spiders aren't actually arachnids.
Yeah. But then scorpions are arachnids too. So.
Daddy longlegs per size are the most poisonous spiders in the world.
They're not.
Or venomous spiders in the world.
They're not.
They're not even spiders.
No, they've already said it's for their size, and the only reason why they don't affect us is because their fangs are like so small and hair-like they can't penetrate our skin.
That's a myth.
It's not an urban legend. I watched a whole video where the dude let a swarm of them tear his arm up, and his whole arm became like this big red swollen mass. It just wasn't enough to get into his system.
If anything bites you enough, I'm sure it's going to look terrible.
And they're not even spiders.
Far from an urban myth. Believe me, I hate spiders enough to have done homework. Trust me.
Rusty has an inquisitive face.
Lorne Green's New Wilderness.
There you go. Thank you.
Never heard of it. What year was that?
Oh, that was like late 70s into mid 80s, I believe it was.
So now it'd be Lorne Green's Old Wilderness because all of that's outdated and incorrect. At this point.
Lorne Green ain't exactly around anymore.
Especially what he did to the lemmings and caused that little myth.
He's not an evergreen, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Oh,
See,
don't forget they can see. Some of them can see your face now.
I don't care.
So either way, guys, welcome back to the Now You Made It Awkward podcast, episode 44. He says with a question mark.
Oh, so now we're past the cold opening part?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
We talked about the weird YouTube ads.
I'm just making sure I was tracking where we were at.
I'm gonna have a little cue
Fucking
card for you.
20-minute cold
I'm
goddamn
gonna
opening.
hold up a cue card for you to let you know when the next thing happens, Ricky.
There you go.
Or just say, hey, I'm
it'll be
hitting
like a
record,
blank
guys.
thing like this where like technically live
moving
now.
on.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna look at you motherfuckers this whole time. I'm not here for y'all.
Look at us, Ricky.
Nope.
Stop staring at your pool.
What are you here for, Ricky?
I
What
do
are you
want
here
to sit in
for?
the pool.
Tell me
Shits
what
and
you're here
giggles.
for. Why are
I'm
you
here to talk about fucking spiders, obviously.
Are you did you have to pull your hose out of the pool again?
My hose out of the pool?
Yeah, last episode you had to get up to go pull your
No,
hose
it's
out.
adding water. No, the water's fine.
Oh,
Okay. So
God,
either
now
way,
we're talking about a less than 6 acts.
no, we weren't. We were talking about Ricky pulling out his hose. He even says it
Yeah.
on the podcast last week.
I know
said, "Go pull
metaphors
his
when
hose
I
out."
hear them.
Do you?
Oh yeah.
Sure. Canadian metaphors don't count.
Neither do American ones.
Oh, look! That's a great shot right there. That's fantastic, Ricky.
You're in the fog. Just brilliant.
Whatever he set directly in front of the camera.
No, I put my camera back on its tripod. My phone back on the tripod.
Yeah. So either way, guys, blah 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 blah.
Cold opening. 20 minutes later.
Shoki,
Cold opening.
I Shoki, he Ricky, that Mike,
Good.
them Rusty.
No, this mic.
Stop that.
Ooh.
Quit
Me,
poking
Mike, that Mike.
quit
Mike,
poking your
Mike.
pee filter.
It's like a mic inception. He's got a mic with a mic.
Yeah.
Well, if it was Inception, it would have to be a mic in a mic.
Mike Inley?
Hey, mic
Mike and a
check.
Mike with Mike.
1 2 1 2.
We only have the one.
No.
Actually,
He's
we
got
have
a mic. So Mike.
we have 5.
1, 2.
There you
We
go.
have 5 mics.
Can I go now?
Yes. Bye.
No.
This one's probably
You're
gonna be
too
called
deep into
the
this.
dumbest one possible. Either way, all our stuff is in the description down below, but I do want to thank the patrons for getting to watch the uncensored, uncut, well, mostly uncensored.
You said that plural. Do you have more than one now?
No, but I'm just thanking all the patrons in general. There was one new patron who just signed up, but they're at the basic level, which means they don't really get anything. They're just supporting in general. So yay for them. So hi. You won't
get to see this video?
No.
Oh, well, the fuck them, you little cheap bastard. Run up your money.
I mean, for $2 more a month, you could actually watch this video.
Give us your credit card.
Don't do
Yeah.
that.
You got to do it with a Russian accent.
Give us credit card and you get plenty of perks.
See, here's the problem: is now we have
You
to
will
figure out.
know.
Now we have to
You-
wait to see which Canadian's going to do something when we give them a prompt.
Is right.
Like, what-
You up your game on Patreon, you get lots of stuff.
Mother Russia, we all top
you
tier
have-
Patreon.
You have chosen wisely.
Oh, that's good. I like that.
I don't like
Yeah.
it. Either way, so we're here.
He just
We're
revisionist
doing
history
things.
my Indiana Jones and made the Nazi into a Russian. I don't like it.
There we go.
Well, that's what
Still
the new movie's going to do.
socialist. Yeah.
The new movie, all the time travel that's going
The
to happen.
Nazis
in the
were
movie.
socialists.
Yes, they were.
Yeah, that's in the name.
Mhm.
Exactly.
We're doing great this episode, guys.
All
Yeah.
this shit better hit the cutting room floor. This is 25 minutes worth of fucking trash. This
I
isn't
love it.
even bonus
It's the
content.
best.
This is just
It's-
stupid.
It's extra fluff.
It's not even
extra.
fluff. It's just trash. Like this is. We might as well just been sitting around talking on a fucking couch for all this.
I mean, we could, but your
Like a
camera doesn't
gaggle
reach
of
your couch.
geese.
The fuck you say? Mine's on my phone. I can carry it right in there and play God of War where y'all ramble on about silly shit.
Nah, it's fine. So either way, well, let's get into our weeks real quick. Basically, I got some stuff in the other day, filmed it and whatnot. I got a couple new Demon Slayer statues, along with a Wall-E and Eve statue, because Wall-E's one of my favorite Pixar movies. And then the not the newest, but the semi-newest Street Fighters Power Rangers crossover figure. I got the Ken, and probably the last one I'm going to get out of that line, just because I don't want the Cammy, and I don't think they're going to do anymore. But that's fine. Been basically just trying to play catch up on filming stuff, and also playing catch up on my credit card because BBTS is slowly getting everything I ordered that was supposed to come out at the end of last year, all coming in fucking February and March instead. So, thank God that I've actually got a tiny bit of money in there right now, so I can take care of that shit, all while attempting to plan a vacation cross country in May, which is difficult because we were pricing stuff and noticed that if I had looked at plane tickets the day before, they would have been significantly cheaper. Thanks, Obama. Yes, I'm just throwing that out there. Thanks, Obama. So we'll see what happens.
Well, that's
on
not
that.
a dated reference.
Well, I still don't even know if I feel like flying on said trip or really just taking the time to drive. Yeah, if I got a week, I got a week. But
take the scenic route, drive.
Yeah, I'm still not comfortable with jamming myself in a confined tube.
Hollow metal tube.
I mean,
thanks a lot, FDR.
Oh, you mean an airplane? Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, FDR.
How about an aero gyro?
I mean, if I had a private plane and went straight there and avoided all the nonsense of airports, I'd
have
be
a
on
higher
board.
chance of having an accident in a private plane than you do in other ones.
If you had a private plane,
because those pilots are more regulated
this.
in big companies.
Yeah.
When it's your private plane, you're just trusting some Joe that you're paying to show up and do his job right.
Realistically, a private flight basically starts at like $6,000, so it's actually not as expensive as you think.
Oh, a private flight. You said private plane.
Well, that's what I mean. Private plane. I don't mean to own a private plane.
Semantic Shoki, get it right.
You're the semanting people over here.
Whoa. Calm down, Hitler. See?
Well, that I have to bleep.
No, you don't.
That cocaine bear.
You said it. No. Oh, no. You said it. No, you have to leave it.
I didn't say it.
You said, calm down, you Semitic people.
I said semantic.
No, you didn't. You slurred your words. You said Semitic.
No, you heard Semitic, which sounds like
no
you
more
have a
drinking for
problem.
you Alki.
Your water is super strong today.
You're cut off.
How many?
Funny.
Well, I mean, if it's from Ohio, it would.
Oh God!
Smell that good Ohio water.
Everything
good
Ohio
shit. Either way, let's see. What have I been watching? Actually, no. Comic books. Got comic books last week, and I think because of when we recorded, I hadn't gotten them just yet. New Power Rangers stuff, which is good because they're finally moving that story forward. Ordered another hardcover collection, or pre-ordered another one on Amazon. Amazon's actually getting pretty good about being able to get hardcover comics, and I appreciate that about it.
Is that what you appreciates about it, Dan?
Yes, it is. Oh, look at you, Floor. Anyways, all the Letterkenny references. We haven't referenced them enough lately. I have to go back and rewatch again. It's been a little bit. I've been getting through season 2 of Castle, which I didn't realize the main overarching story kind of progresses so much faster and then like hits a giant lull for like 4 seasons and then like picks back up in like season 7. And like otherwise it's just other plot
I didn't
stuff.
even know it went on that long.
Apparently it went on for like, I think it went on for 8 seasons or something like that. And what I never knew is that near the end of it, like Nathan Fillion and Stan Akatic, the 2 leads who were supposed to be a couple at that point, were like at each other's throats behind the scene. And like he didn't even want her to come back. Whatever happened. And like apparently, like I saw an article where they interviewed her, and it said that he said, "Look, the story. It's not called Beckett. It's called Castle. It's like we need to make the story closer to my character again." Which I get to a degree, but to say it that way is kind of shitty.
I mean, Nathan Fillion.
Yeah, but he basically wanted her gone out of the last season. It's like that would be an odd way to explain how your significant other and the
she died off camera.
Suddenly died off camera. Well, they did shoot her at one point, so we didn't know if she was going to die. So I mean, there's that. But that was
reuse the footage.
Season 5 or 6. It was a sniper shot. That would have been interesting. Just kind of reuse.
Have a body double get dropped by a sniper shot.
Yeah, exactly.
Or falling piano.
It'd be the Dark Knight all over again.
No.
Let's see what else. Okay, so should we just talk about The Last of Us now? Because since we haven't caught up, we're 2 episodes behind. Or do y'all want to wait a little bit? Okay, so Mike's out on that.
I watched it.
Yes, I know you did. Rusty's good. So
Filmed right here, 20 minutes away from me.
Yep. So we never got to talk about the episode where they got to Jackson finally and met up with Tommy. So
And
yeah,
the fact that they left the Johnny Cash and June Carter song on the floor and didn't use it for that show is fucking dumb.
yeah. I mean, they could have, but
They totally should have used Jackson. Although they're talking about Jackson, Mississippi, they could have got away with it.
yeah, and it's technically it's Jackson Hole. They just dropped the whole part off. So
Yeah,
that's
they
actually
did.
so it's fun. The cool thing is they are actually using the proper area of Jackson. It's not just some place called Jackson. They did do it up a little bit for the show, but it's basically an existing town. But I like that whole thing, you know. But like in the original game, they didn't go to Jackson. You know,
They were on their way to Jackson, got waylaid.
Yeah, they got waylaid at the dam, turning on the power that would run Jackson, and they didn't actually you didn't actually see the city itself until the second game. But that's fine. I mean, it's good. I mean, they also redid how they hooked up with Tommy again, and then met his wife and whatnot. But I think like just is it Gabriel Luna is the actor? Yeah, I think it's Gabriel Luna.
Who cares?
The guy who plays Tommy. Like
Yeah.
actually getting to see more of him, and that was good because we got like a whopping like 4 minutes of screen time with him before that. But then actually getting to see Joel's character get fleshed out a little bit more. He's finally realizing his weaknesses. Like he's going deaf, he's slowing down. He damn near got killed twice because he couldn't hear somebody coming. You know, and he tried to hand off Ellie to his brother to take.
Tommy.
And then I'm saying tried to give her to Tommy, and actually technically did, but after the conversation, he and Ellie yelled at each other, basically, you know, or she said, "Look, I've got no one. Everyone's either dead or left me. You're the only one I've got."
And then now you're leaving me too.
And now you're leaving me too. So I mean, that was a great fucking conversation. You know, both actors just fucking didn't leave anything on the table after that.
No.
So I mean, it was a really good developmental episode, and then
still
of course,
still my least favorite so far. But again, when I say that, I don't want people. Oh, he hated it. He's stupid. No.
You hated
That's
it. You're stupid.
That's like comparing one Da Vinci to another. I mean, they're both works of art, and just it's one you like slightly more than the other.
So you like,
to me, it's been the weakest so far.
So
you like the last one better than the brother one?
The one with Riley?
Yeah.
I liked getting some of her backstory, and I didn't play any of the DLC from the game, so I didn't know the Riley story and all that, except for what was hinted about, like during gameplay. So it didn't bother me any.
Yeah, so for those who don't know, episode 7 of The Last of Us is based off the DLC called Left Behind, which is where you got Ellie's backstory with her best friend, quote unquote, Riley.
Sorry, the episode's called Left Behind. Is the DLC called Left Behind?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, so that's a direct reference.
Fun
and
fact.
basically, you know, a lot of it scene for scene, just like the rest of the show has been.
Them in the mall.
And now you know the rest of the story.
Yes, actually, that's what it came down to. So, and the funny thing is, like, I thought both episodes were good. Obviously, people keep getting pissed off that they're diverting away from Joel and Ellie. It's like
need to calm the fuck
they
down.
need to calm down because this is part of the fucking story. And then everybody's like, "Oh, they're doing more gay stuff." I was like, "You don't know the characters. Fuck off."
Yeah, well, and for everybody
that's part
listening
of
that
it.
just got told to calm down by Shoki, remember that this is the guy who disliked the fact that her hair knot was in a separate place than it was in the game, and he just told you y'all are overreacting, so y'all need to fucking relax.
They're overreacting they're overreacting because they think that the showrunners have made everyone gay without realizing all of these characters are gay in the
it's because what's her face is saying shit in the fucking news and shit, and like, oh, if they dislike that, they're really gonna hate how much LGBT LMNOP stuff is gonna be coming up, because she was making it a hot button topic, which it didn't need to be.
Yeah, and you know, we didn't even really touch on that particular thing that she did, but like, but she's not wrong. Like, these characters, I mean, I don't know if in the original game you found out Ellie was gay, but it's a big plot point, more or less,
in the second one
of the second game. And so for them to drop it here, I mean, fine. They just narratively they got to make it fit more like a TV show than a video game.
I don't remember anything blatant in the first one. I think it was just more ambiguous.
I think it was ambiguous.
One way or the other.
Yeah, it wasn't until the DLC that you would know.
The second one, they just flat out, just boom.
Yeah, because it starts out with her wanting to date that other girl, and they go to the big deal is, well, I guess they are dating. The big deal was like they weren't public, so they wanted to go to the dance together, which was at that particular
I
the
never
bar.
played the second one.
Yeah, so the big deal about in the episode there was the bar that Tommy and Joel were drinking in to have their conversation is the bar where the big fight of the second game happened between Joel and Ellie about her being gay. And it wasn't like him doing anything, it was how just stuff unfolded and then it caused them to split, sort of. But it was a big brouhaha because at that point, they weren't public, in their thing. So of course it changes after that, but it depends on whether or not they add that extra character from 2 somehow into this season, because they mentioned a trans character. Is like, I don't remember a trans character remotely being in the first game. Just
That's
possibly
because
in the
they're
second.
going their own way with their writing and not going to be following the game.
Yeah, but you're talking about the guy who made the game is making the show. So
yes, but
he's allowing them to go down rabbit holes and side trails that weren't really fleshed out in the game.
Yeah,
which
again, like we said, right? If you guys you people on the internet want to keep nitpicking the show.
What do you mean, you people?
Not you people.
You people.
You're gonna ruin this show, and because right now it's a good show. It's got good writing and it's got good actors in it. Let it ride. Just enjoy it. Enjoy it. Stop picking it apart.
And I actually appreciate the fact that, well, other than like the beginning of episode 7 where they were at the actual Fedra school, like it was just the 2 of them, like just 2 actors playing off each other, and then like the whole scene playing Mortal Kombat 2, basically almost straight out of the game. Except I don't think in the game, I don't think it was Mortal Kombat because they didn't own the rights to it when the game was made. Now they do, which is why they're using Mortal Kombat as the example. But I was looking at it, I was like, these motherfuckers memorized, without ever playing the game, fatalities.
They did the same way we used to, man. All they had was like the Game Informers to look at over and over, and they just read them until they memorized them.
Yeah, but like, just I don't know. I think my biggest bit of disbelief is that entire arcade functioned flawlessly when you turn the power back on.
Dude, that's the first thing I noticed too. I'm like, it's 20 years post-apocalypse, and they just turned everything on, and nothing happened to it.
Nothing.
Get the fuck out of here.
Not a single problem.
Yeah, I've seen brand new systems that didn't work that fucking well.
Yeah,
like your PS5.
Yes.
Or the fact that like the controllers actually all worked fine too.
Yeah, they weren't all floaty and mushy and shit.
Yeah. Well, that we know of.
After 20 years of them just sitting, in God knows what
in muck.
Oh yeah, they probably got them fresh out of the package too.
Yeah,
but in
those rotors,
because to make us gamers feel better about ourselves, they also memorized the easiest fatalities and used the easiest characters to pull them off. So I mean, it's not like they did the hard ones.
It was funny though. I had a Mandela effect though when watching this. I was like, wait a minute, was Reptile always in the Mortal Kombat 2 character registry? And I thought he was unlockable.
No, he was unlockable in the first one.
Well,
like he was a hidden character.
He was a hidden character.
Oh yes, yeah, it was. He was a hidden character in.
You got to get like a double perfect and do the fatality off of the pit bridge, and then you jump down and see him down there or some shit.
Yeah, and then you could fight him under very specific circumstances, but he wasn't playable. But I didn't remember him being an actual playable character initially through the game. Like somebody had done all the things. Like I remember certain characters would get unlocked and they would appear either on the side or in the middle or whatever. But I looked at it, I was like, Reptile was just a basic character. I was like, that doesn't sound right.
Well, I wonder if they did they have it, because now I'm trying to remember if you had to unlock him in the second game to play him, and I wonder if that was on the consoles. No. And in the actual arcade game, he was
could be possible. Right. Is that it was on consoles, not the
arcade. On consoles,
I never played
you unlocked alternate outfits. I think
you didn't. No, they didn't do outfits. No. The only time you had alternate outfits is when you chose the same character and it just slightly altered the color, so that you would know the difference. But no, I could have sworn because is it Noob Saibot? I thought was the hidden character
Noob
in
Saibot
2
was my jam. No,
yeah,
3. 3 is where you got to play as Noob Saibot.
Okay.
Because then they nerfed them on Ultimate 3. Because if we put on 3 right now, I will play you right now. I will do the same 3 moves over and over. I will tell you which same 3 moves I'm gonna do over and over, and you will die, and I will have it perfect every fucking time. And so when they did the Ultimate version of it, they nerfed them so that you could block all those fucking moves and shit.
That's what they should have done.
Fuck that shit. He's a noob sidebody. He's supposed to be unstoppable.
He's nothing.
Yeah, he's everything.
He's no one. He's a
you
shadow.
Don't know your mythology.
He's no one.
It's incorrect. He's actually Sub-Zero.
He's no one. Either way,
I
never bought into that. Never bought into that story.
He was the first Sub-Zero behind.
Hashtag not my Sub-Zero.
He actually is your Sub-Zero.
I don't believe in Sub-Zero.
I would like to point out that this is the second time we've talked about scorpions in this podcast.
We didn't mention scorpions earlier.
Yes, we
talked
did.
about
Jinx, by the way.
Mike mentioned it.
So that's not a we, that's a he mentioned.
I never heard Mike's mention scorpions, but okay.
No, there's no collective we. There's no royal we around here.
This is not communism. We don't do wees.
Yeah.
This is not a Nintendo gaming system from the mid 2000s.
I am of independent thought.
Right.
But I will join in the group collective and say we.
No thanks. The royal wees.
Hard pass.
The royal wee wees. What was the other thing? Okay, so just in general though, like I was fine with both this episode. I thought it was great. Episode 7, that is. Thought it was good. The wifey got all up in tears about it, like because of course, raised by 2 gay women, she always gets in the feels when you get to see kind of a love story happen like that. And
when do we round the corner and that's not a thing anymore? I mean, it's been happening on TV and in movies for almost 30 years at this point.
Yeah, I think the problem is that when I don't know, it's these weird expectations, I think, where we like suddenly just think that it isn't going to be a thing, and then we're still surprised when it is. Yep. I think it's the problem. I think
that's the one thing that bothers me about the second game that I've had descriptions of is the fact that even in a post-apocalyptic future, when 3/4 of the Earth is wiped out, people are still going to give a shit who's fucking who. It's fucking dumb.
Well, the biggest problem is that you got to remember, basically, the world got stuck in its mindset of that year, and then the weird, whatever craziness, the extremist people come out. So the problem is like even in a new society, quote unquote, you're still going to have people who have old mindsets. You're still going to have the quote unquote dinosaurs, as it were, or they're going to find all new bigotry to have. Who knows? It'd be like the people who are against
people who hate people because they have a top knot instead of a side knot. Right, Shoki?
No, it's just that when you absolutely kill the hairstyle of a character, or the fact that Joel doesn't have a really full beard like he should. Although, what's fun, next episode we get another cameo of one of the main actors from the video games. Troy Baker himself is actually going to be in it, not playing his actual character, but playing somebody else. Or Joel. I like that. No. Not giving him credit. There is only one Joker.
Well, that's far from true.
No, it's only the one good.
There's one that rules above all.
Yeah,
there's one ring that rules them all, but there's still multiple rings underneath it.
Yeah, unless you actually watch that show, in which case it's getting rebooted, recast, or whatever the fuck they're doing.
Recast.
Also, did you guys hear that Aragorn's black now?
I don't even know.
Isn't
it Aragorn the dragon guy thing or whatever? Isn't it his own movie?
That's Aragon.
Oh, whatever.
No, the new just random thing I heard earlier, and I was like, what? And I had to go check on it. But the new Lord of the Rings Magic the Gathering set decided that Aragorn would be black now.
Who cares?
So it's just like, okay,
Lord of
let's
the
retcon
Rings
that
Magic the Gathering set.
Yeah, it's new. It's coming.
Yeah.
Or it just came out. One of the two.
Yeah. Who gives a shit?
They're doing all the fantasy. Well, dude, there's Magic the Gathering Transformers now. So I mean,
what?
That's not true. It's a separate trading card game.
No. This was announced by Hasbro back in like December that they were they're
doing anything they can to keep Magic
Transformers.
It's dying.
Yeah. No. It is Transformers in their own sect of Magic the Gathering. And they have their own power sets. You can transform them between their 2 different modes. Blah 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 blah. It's
and they have magic now.
Well, it's
robot wizards.
But instead of casting spells, they
have this sounds so retarded.
It is.
You can't say that, Mike.
I can so.
They're robots. You can say that.
retarded robots now.
Robots can't be retarded.
Well, no,
Oh, I don't know about that.
Sure, they can.
You
Their
don't-
processors could be slowed down.
robots
That's
have
right.
feelings too, you know.
And actually,
Robots are people too.
their internal actually their internal
Hashtag.
combustion engines
How dare you hurt my
have timing, which
processor.
can be retarded. So, which
Yeah.
you know, that's the thing. So yes, robots can be retarded.
Terrible.
You just slow down their ignition timing.
By the
I'd
way,
love to see a
Pascal
Down syndrome
Pedro,
robot.
Yes.
Pascal Pedro in that episode, the Jackson episode was again just
He
showing
acted his
off
ass
his
off.
flexing his muscle yet again as one
Yes.
Did everybody watch the season 3 opener of Mandalorian?
I did.
of. I watched it last night. Yes.
Good.
Yes,
We could
I
talk
watched
about
it
that
twice
too.
yesterday.
We
So
can
that
talk about
was the next thing because Rusty just seamlessly segued us into The Mandalorian season 3.
Thank
Good
you,
job,
Rusty.
Yes. So, thoughts?
Oh, by the way, sorry. Before we jump into that, were we thinking of Reptile in Mortal Kombat? The green
Yes.
Scorpion slash Sub. Okay,
Yeah.
his name is Reptile. Scorpion is the yellow one who was always
Yes.
in the
Yeah.
game.
Sub-Zero's
Reptile-
blue.
Sub-Zero's
Reptile
blue.
is the
Reptile was a near constant after 2.
yes.
So either way,
Anyway,
Yeah,
sorry.
And then Air Max the red one, and
Now
then
I've-
Rain's the purple one.
we're not going into all the freaking ninja colors.
Now I've
Listen,
Noob Saibot's the
unsegued
all
us.
blacked out one. Smoke
I've-
is the gray one.
Okay, thank you. I've unsegued us from your Mandalorian 3. Please go back.
Speaking of the all gray one, we do have the Mandalorian.
I was gonna say, yeah, Mike's here today.
Ah! You kill me.
Not yet.
So either
Bring
way,
it on.
thoughts on Mando now finally 3 because we got the 2.5.
I'm gonna let y'all suck off the Star Wars teat for a second. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, because Ricky didn't like it, so therefore we have to actually talk positive about it.
Really?
Okay, so I'm with Ricky. I was kind
Didn't hate it.
Didn't hate it, didn't love it. It was just kind of an episode.
Just kind of an episode.
Yeah. And by the
Just
way,
like Canada's just kind of a country.
yeah,
Canada is not just kind of a
It's
country;
kind
it's a figment of our imagination. Until I've been there.
why are we baptizing new Mandalorians in a lake that has a giant armored crocodile that could come out and kill all of you in a moment's notice? Why are we doing this?
Because they don't
Because
have
it was a big lake
mythosaurs.
and yeah.
They don't have the possibility of fighting a mythosaur, which is what they used to do.
Okay, I held back as long as I could. Let y'all talk about how great this show was. So here's my.
Nobody got to do that.
I know
never-
exactly. Now y'all are starting down the path of shit that was messed up about it.
Nope.
So here is my problem with Mando 3. It's not trash.
Illuminate
It's
us.
not trash. It's the arc of the Mandalorian period. If you go back from season 1 and work your way this way, season 1 it started out very. They even said like a space western. As one guy walks into a saloon, type bullshit.
Yeah.
And somewhere along the line, it became the Magnificent Seven. And then now all of a sudden, it is member berries and the Expendables. I'm like, what the fuck? How did the main trajectory of this story get so far off kilt from one season to the next?
when
we
they
had-
fired Cara Dune.
We had,
Yeah,
she
that's
was
true.
the anchor holding that show down.
No, she wasn't
So
the anchor, but she was a
anyways-
main character on his team that got booted
Mm.
and only finally just got mentioned.
Yeah.
So, anyways, that ain't the reason. What they've done is they've done what Disney always does. Oh, you liked that one part of that one episode? We're gonna make the entire thing that now. Oh, you liked the Heavy Mando? You liked when he flew through the air with his jetpack and shot shit? Guess what? He's now a main beat in every storyline. Him and all the other Mandalorians. Now they have to be in every episode. Get the fuck out of here with that trash. Oh, remember Clone Wars? Let's throw in the hyperspace whales. We're gonna bring those back so the not baby Yoda with the stupid fucking name can stare at him, go goo goo gaga through the fucking
That's
Anakin
Grogu.
spaceship that they also had to force into the fucking show. Like, it's goddamn fucking dumb. It started out great, and it's like they can't fucking not fuck something up. It's like impossible.
Well,
think
it's
that
because
you
there's sorry, go
Jesus
ahead,
Christ.
Choki.
Well, I was gonna say at this point, I think you're just a Star Wars hater because
Incorrect. I'm an original Star Wars liker, and I like when they make new stuff. I don't like when they try to take the old stuff and force it into the new stuff.
Well,
Like Andor was great. Andor was great. Here's what they've done with Mandalorian. Let's say Andor was great. Oh, you liked that part? You liked that 3 episodes where he was in prison? Well, guess what? Season 2, all in prison. We're gonna do the whole thing in prison lockdown. You like that one part, so we're gonna make the whole season be that now. That it doesn't need to be that. Let it just be something that we liked in the middle of something else that we liked. You don't have to make everything that just because we liked it slightly more. That's what I don't like about this. We liked Carl Weathers showing up in there. Now they're every season they're bringing him back, and it's creating a huge time jump.
All three seasons.
It's creating a huge time jump. Think about the time jump that they're showing with this guy. He went from being a bandit in the first one to starting to rebuild a city to becoming the head of their political party with a whole vamped up fucking city now. Yeah. Like how much time has passed between that?
A couple years, if that.
It's got to be
actually
more.
Not even, only a few months.
It's got to be. See, that's what I'm saying. It doesn't make sense. There's no fucking way.
It doesn't make sense to you because you don't have future tech that helps you build shit.
Oh, get the fuck out of here.
I mean, okay.
Mr. Who hates when stuff happens off screen now uses the off screen excuse to cover up bullshit. No,
I mean, like it's a known quantity in this universe that they have terraforming. They have shit. You can literally just land buildings and get to work.
Yeah, you can land a building, but then how did he get all the people there? How did they form the political parties? How did he get voted into his position? How did he raise up?
There is no political party. He's just basically the mayor.
He's a fucking mayor, which
is literally a voted in position, guys. I don't just wake up today and go, "Hey, I'm mayor of Ocala."
But it's not per se a political party of sorts.
He basically ran that city before as the guy running the guild, which
where'd all the people come from?
Through the guild. They're already
word spreads around.
He literally said we've become one of the biggest trade ports on the outer rim.
That's what I'm saying. They became the biggest trade port in 2 months. Get the fuck out of here. Nah. Excuse making. Dave Filoni dick suckers. No, it's trash. They need to get back on track again. They're off track with this shit.
This is their track, and you need to get on it.
It is not. It is not their track because you just said it's been a couple months. A couple months. So it went from a desert, nobody planet with no people living in that city to the fucking biggest space hub in 2 months. Get the fuck out of here. No.
See, no. First of all, Filoni doesn't know how this is going to end. Okay. He doesn't know
because Filoni makes it up as he goes. Oh, you like that?
No.
Member berries.
Not necessarily. It's possibly at the point where, like how in a story or in a comic book, it just seems like the characters at a certain point just seem to write themselves.
Yes.
He possibly had a type of ending for the Mandalorian, but as the story started progressing, he's probably going to have to look back now. It's like, you know what? Yeah, I wanted to do it this way, but the way the character arc is going, the way the story is going, I might have to end it another way.
Okay, so you spray painted that dog turd. You spray painted that dog turd gold really fast. Said it wasn't a dog turd. They started this out as a very short. They said at the beginning it was going to be 2, maybe 3 seasons long. It was going to be the lone gunman versus the whole entire Wild West. And then they saw how popular it was, and they go, "We're going to change it now."
That's right, because
we want to drag it out for 10 fucking seasons.
But the other thing is because Filoni has been getting a lot of crap and interference from Kathleen Kennedy on top of
fuck, here we go. The lady who's retiring is the one doing it.
It's true, right? When he wanted to leave
a lot of
Grogu
on your end,
with
Mike.
Luke, sorry about that. When he wanted to leave Grogu with Luke, that's what he actually wanted to do. But Kathleen Kennedy ended up interfering, going through the marketing department, saying, you can't do this because this is our big seller right now. Baby Yoda, Grogu. You can't just get rid of him. So it forced Filoni to bring him back into the show. Unfortunately, there was a lot of interference going on with Kennedy and Filoni because there was a certain point, like probably about maybe 6 months ago, where Filoni was like ready to quit. He was like so frustrated with Kennedy, he was ready to quit altogether and leave.
Cite your sources.
Even go to DC. Well,
cite your sources.
I will cite my sources later on in the show.
Right now is just Googling. So,
Google. Okay, so I want to say something real quick before we go too far. And then I'll let you
go for it.
The other thing we're forgetting is that there was another show that was supposed to happen in the interim that was supposed to also carry on this storyline that was canceled due to a main character getting fired from Disney. We were supposed to have the entire like Cara Dune series that was supposed to spin off from season 2, which by the way, we never found out how the fuck they got from everybody in the standoff on the bridge of that ship. Like they were literally about to fight for the Darksaber. And that's where we left it. And then we jumped to, oh, I've got the Darksaber, can barely wield it in the Book of Boba Fett. Yeah. So like in Mando 2.5, which by the way, I forgot Jessica hadn't seen. So she was kind of in the dark. Like how did he get Grogu back? Had all this other stuff. It's like, oh yeah, you missed that because you didn't watch Book of Boba Fett with me. Yeah. As like, oops. So, but we kind of just said, okay, how did we get out of this situation where she wasn't going to let him leave until they fought to the death for the Darksaber? And then also Cara Dune is there. Now Kara's gone. We've got Bo-Katan is everybody fucking abandoned her because now Mando has got the special. Like it's like, okay, we went from these, like there's a huge chunk missing. So Ricky wants to talk about time jumps. It's like, yeah, an entire series or almost an entire season that should have been built in between. And
I couldn't care less about Cara Dune and couldn't care less about her episodes because her episodes weren't going to be this stuff. She was going to be like, it was going to be like a special forces.
She was going to have an entire series.
Yeah,
and that's why they talked about her and why she's gone from.
And I couldn't care less about a Cara Dune. I don't care about the political bullshit of why she's not in it. I couldn't care less about the actual character itself.
But you're complaining about what the show is missing and how it's off track.
You're assuming that it's because of some political bullshit that's the part that's missing. That might not be the part that's missing. The part that's missing is the fact that they changed trajectory mid-show. It was supposed to be a short-lived run, 2 to 3 seasons. To now they're changing it to 10 seasons.
Between seasons, which meant we had an incomplete story over here, picked up a partial story, and now had to go run with a different story, all because this was cut out of the larger timeline. So now it's like, okay, we're just going to not acknowledge anything that was here. No questions asked. Just throw this away. So you want to talk about sucking the dick of it? It's like, no, I'm telling you my problems. We went from here, completely abandoned that edge of it and just said, nope, we're going here now. Don't look back at that. And then the fact that they even mentioned Cara Dune at all is impressive. And like the fact that they even remotely
they're past that bullshit. They'll probably pull her back in.
They should. They absolutely should.
I think Filoni is actually biding his time to see what goes on with Kathleen Kennedy, to see if she's actually going to stay, if they renew her contract, or if she's actually going to be out, because Disney is not impressed. That's why Indy 5 is going through reshoots, different endings, and all that kind of other crap.
The biggest problem is also
his time.
We also have the changeover between Iger, not Iger, and then Iger, which is also causing a lot of issues with productions because stories that started pre-COVID that didn't get a chance to wrap up, and then Iger left, handing off to the other Bob, and then they changed direction mid-COVID, and then firing people or hiring people, redoing things.
While you're sitting there quietly, do me a Google search real quick. When did the Clone Wars cartoon first fire off? What years did it originally run?
Oh, God. Well, the movie came out in 2007.
Yeah, original Clone Wars series would have been somewhere in that.
And then I think it was like a year after that, the series started.
When did Disney buy Star Wars?
2008. 2008 is when Clone Wars started.
And then when did Disney buy Star Wars?
I think that was around
2012.
10, 12?
So that right there is me shooting a hole, and Kennedy is the one ruining this because Filoni has been like that since day one with Clone Wars. That is Filoni's fucking style. It has nothing to do with Kennedy. He sees, oh, you like this shit? Then that's what we're going to change it to. Y'all are missing. I didn't say it jumped the shark at the end of season 2. It went off track at the end of season 1. When they decided that this is now no longer going to be a quick 2-3 season arc and be over with, when they went, oh no, people really like this, we're going to make 10 seasons out of it, that's when it started going off track.
Yeah, so why do we pretend that not every single show doesn't do this?
Doesn't mean it's okay. We're talking specifically about this show. We're talking specifically about this show.
Here's the problem. You think it would be better if they didn't, and you have no clue what they were going to do.
They were going to tell
because
a whole
you
story,
don't like what
you
got. You are going back on something you never knew existed.
And you're saying you don't like the trajectory because you didn't get something that you wanted. Who gives a fuck what my reason is? We all have our own reasons for liking or disliking something. You think Cara Dune would fix all this shit? I don't think Cara Dune can fix this shit.
Here's
You know
the
what I
problem.
mean?
You're complaining about something that never existed. I'm complaining about something that's here.
No, I complained about something that did exist. Season 1 absolutely does exist.
Yeah, and then you're
And
mad
at the end of
about
season
it didn't
1
go
is
the
when they
trajectory.
changed.
You'd have no idea what it would have been.
Yeah, but you
Season's
just,
1 where
you
they
just-
changed.
But you just said the same thing, Shoki, right? And
No,
and I
here's the
hold
thing.
on.
Okay.
And I agree with what you said, right? Is that we got this story arc of he has the dark saber. It looks like he's going to have to fight somebody for it. We're probably going to have a split in the factions of the Mandalorians and end up with one half fighting the other half, and maybe him going back to Mandalore as part of that story. And they've completely ditched
or he could have died, and that would have been the end of that.
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, right. And I didn't enjoy this episode because I started the episode going, "Oh yeah, we're going to pick up where that left off, and it's going to evolve." And it didn't. It was a completely different storyline. I have to go to Mandalore, and I have to go bathe in the living waters of blah blah.
Well,
blah,
that was set up, and that was set up in.
It was.
Now it's convoluted.
But still,
I'm not
so where did the story of the dark saber come into Mandalorian?
In Boba Fett. No, sorry, no. He picked up the dark
that was
saber
in season 2.
That was
like I said.
However,
so post season 1, they're like,
little bit
let's start
further
pulling in all this Clone War shit and bring back the member berries.
Season 1, end of season 1 was the reveal of the dark saber. The final scene.
The very last episode. We're gonna bring it around to this
because that's where they wanted it to go.
Yeah.
But the point
is, was the origin of the dark saber talked about
in the Clone
Wars?
In Clone Wars. Yeah, was it Rebels? Yeah.
Okay, so that's a natural program. That's
it might have been both technically, but it's a progression of the story for sure.
Right.
There's
nothing
canon.
wrong with that.
And that's why they brought in Bo-Katan. That's why they brought in.
Fair. But
you liked her in the cartoon. You like her here. Oh, you like the hyperspace?
Yeah, that's
fine. Like them here.
But what's the problem?
But it's a little. It's a little Easter egg.
To begin, they were stupid in the cartoon. They're stupid now too.
It's a nice for the Ahsoka
nod. Series.
Yeah.
It's
it's an homage, basically.
Okay, but at this point, the Clone Wars and Rebels were all bullshit because they weren't part of original canon, and Dave was just making it up as he went along, and he abandoned the storylines he started in one other season. So erase everything from wherever the initial timeline split from what Filoni originally planned, all the way up to current, because it's all trash.
Okay,
so it's all trash. Let's go back.
That's one of the reasons why, anybody with a lick of sense has a problem with episodes 1, 2, and 3 is because it rewrites the timeline for 4, 5, and 6. That's the problem. Lucas did that too. He used to love to do that shit. I'm going to fix what it should have been, and he should have just left it alone and worked with it because that's what everybody liked.
So the story was already planned out from the beginning. He only started with episode 4. It's because he admitted that the technology wasn't quite there to do 1, 2, and 3, and that's why he went with 4 first.
And then when he got around to doing 1, 2, and 3, he did his George Lucas thing and changed a bunch of shit and said, well, just ignore that.
Well, except for the
Han shot first.
That technically George Lucas he wasn't involved in 5 and 6 directly in the writing and stuff like that. So the only things he did were basically the first one and then most of the prequels. So that was him just sitting there finally writing out that shit. Now, how much of that he ever had figured out back in the day? He didn't
supposedly
know,
had the whole 9 written out, but
he didn't.
Saga.
Because he didn't have Darth Vader as Luke's dad until
not originally.
Okay, so let's go all the way back to that moment. Everything in that original timeline,
this is
timelines,
pre-story,
the multiverse of Star Wars, where every storyline would have changed and gone a different direction.
Oh my god!
Anyway, so as for season 3, episode 1, I thought it was good. I didn't think it was great, but it's a nice opener to a brand new season, is what I thought.
I think they went one step too far in their let's jump planets. I think it would have been fine to stay on Navarro at the end of that episode and then roll the next chunk into the next thing. I didn't think he needed to go see Bo-Katan first or at the end of this episode. He could have rolled that at the beginning of the next one for all it mattered. Leave off on because here's the thing. He said, okay, cool, I'm gonna go to Mandalore. And it's like, okay, cool. Where does he go next? Navarro. Wait, why is he going to Navarro? I need a droid. Okay, I want that droid. Why do you want that one? Because it's the only one I trust. It don't exist, right? And he's like, well, I'm gonna fix it.
And then by the end of it, it's not even the one that he trusts. They're gonna have to get a whole new fucking memory core for it, which means it's not the same fucking droid.
No, actually, what's going to be worse is it's not even going to be that droid by the end. It's actually going to be R5D4.
Or they'll make the first IG-88. We got to tie it back in. So he's going to be the first. He's going to be IG-88A.
No, I'm telling you, story-wise, they've already shown that he's with R5D4. Yeah. Like from here. So he never gets IG-11 back for whatever reason. So he's just going to end up with R5D4 anyway.
See, the thing is, I think this is only going to be like 9 or 8 episodes in this season. So they're going to have to basically fit a lot of stuff in and really make this work. They can't. Yeah, but what I'm saying is they can't afford to put any filler episodes in. If they're wanting to make this really good this season,
it's either going to be all filler.
Bam, 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 bam.
Yeah. This was a filler episode.
They can't afford to put filler in.
The first episode was a filler episode.
No,
they could have bypassed all that shit and just had him go straight to Mandalore in the first episode and start from there.
It's an intro episode, basically, too.
Because you have to, it's your establishing episode.
Set it up.
Yeah. It's all establishment. Because where we left, because once again, because they're nowhere near where they left off, we got to establish where our players are and what they're doing. I mean, hell, we got to check up on Moff Gideon of all fucking things. It's like, we think Gideon's out of the story. Nope, we know exactly where he's at now. Well, that's definitely going to be coming up at some point in one of these series.
And it sets up also how much time has kind of passed in between.
Well, not the sad part is no, it doesn't.
Somewhat.
So, like, no, I mean, like,
it doesn't, but it kind of does.
The only thing it does is tell you stuff happened.
It's so honestly, like, it feels like this is only like a couple months from the end of Book of Boba Fett, like roughly, but we don't know how much time there was between season 2 and Book of Boba Fett. Like, so we don't have a time frame. That's why I'm not arguing with Ricky on that. We don't know, but it hasn't been years. That's the problem.
I'm not saying it's years. It's
no, but that's what I'm saying.
Like you said, more than likely months.
But they're showing years of progression, though.
Yeah, but I mean, like, the thing is, with that whole thing, if you have the supplies, because in season 1,
who cares about the buildings together? I'm talking about the actual society in and of itself is way more advanced than 2 months old.
Society happens when you get the fascists out of the way. Because remember, Navarro was being run essentially by smugglers, the guild, and the remnants of the empire. You get out 2 of those things, now you no longer have a power vacuum. You have a stable government. You've got, you're in a location, because Outer Rim, there's a lot of shit that goes on. You make it a trade hub and shit starts
By the way,
happening.
the biggest trade hub overnight.
Well, he said the biggest trade hub in the area, but also
overnight
in the Outer Rim. Yeah,
but
the Outer Rim is huge.
Actually, he says sector.
True, it is.
He says sector, not Outer Rim, if we're fair.
Yeah.
So the thing.
So what everybody think of the space pirate?
Swamp Thing,
the captain,
fucking Swamp Thing. Which, if everybody didn't see my post that I put up yesterday, the no context spoiler post, which was Lake Placid. Yeah, like oh, by the way, the Terminator
should have done better. I'm sorry, having
like
the plasticky
reference.
kind of beard shit freaking hanging all over the place.
Yeah, what kind of?
Yeah, I got the Terminator references when IG-88 was trying to crawl on the floor and still attack him.
And I love that they shot that in like staggered frames, so it looked like he was jumping like a puppet, which was great.
So, anyways, the show's awesome and amazing. Disney's the best.
In case you didn't notice, we were actually talking about the problems, not about how good it was. But you want to pretend like everyone loved it because you hated it.
No.
Yeah,
y'all want to pretend like I'm wrong just because I don't like it.
No, I just think it was good. It wasn't great, but
it was fine. I said I don't like the overall arc it's heading.
I'm glad that he came in and saved everybody, which was great.
Yeah,
I'm glad I got to see Anakin's fighter again. I missed that.
Not Anakin's fighter
in your head.
It is.
We're pretending that Naboo Starfighter wasn't around before. It's just,
it's Anakin's. It's just Anakin's.
No. I do like the fact that they're using puppetry throughout the whole show too, and not CGIing all like the little aliens and stuff. It's got a nice nostalgic.
And they were the best part. The little ones trying to put the robots together.
The Babu Fricks.
Yeah.
Whatever the name of their
not the Ugnaughts, whatever the fuck they're called. Yeah. It's like this robot is voodoo. I'm like, yep, yes, it is.
Bite-sized
episode is fucking voodoo.
And I like that they go from not necessarily speaking English to like or Universal Basic and then suddenly like getting better over time, but are still pretending Mando can't understand him when you and I like, is he stupid? Is he Joel and he's deaf and he doesn't know?
And like Carl Weathers having to sit there and keep saying he said
yelling from outside. Yeah.
By the way, how did Mando get into that space?
There's a bigger door.
Is there?
There's a big bay door. Well, big.
Yeah,
there's
a big garage door.
There's a droid-sized door that he crawls through. That's what Carl Weathers is yelling through. Like, it's not the tiny door, else he'd be laying on his face on the ground. But no, yeah, the fact that he actually crawled inside there, I'm just like, okay, like it is, but it's just silly. Like, I mean, like, I like the silliness, but then like the seriousness. But I just thought that, like, I feel like because they had to jump, as Ricky keeps saying, they didn't know where to place everybody just yet, so they're just like, okay, here, we'll figure it out next week, and then they're like, okay, now we go. It's like
whole wide universe, we're still running into the same peoples.
Well,
you like C-3PO? Here's your all-white repaint coming at you, Black Series, baby.
Yeah, but they've had that, like, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, you're way out on the outer rim and at a nowhere planet. You remember Admiral Akbar? Here's a Mon Calamari for you, coming to you.
Sure.
Oh no, these species that are actually pretty prominent in the galaxy
they're actually not. If you actually read Star Wars, the Mon Calamari are not. Admiral Akbar was a one-off. They are not everywhere.
They have a whole planet.
Yes, and that's where they reside, and that's where they stay in the stories.
And then we saw them on that other planet where they were fishermen wearing sweaters.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, why are the squid guys? Why are the squid guys everywhere? They're from the same planet, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they're bad guys all over.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I like that they did a lot more makeup on the bad guys, like hardly any CG at all there.
Like, I noticed that, yeah.
People in makeup, except for Swamp Thing was probably mostly CG.
So are we going to get a Boba Fett 1.5 in the middle of this bullshit? I'm calling.
Probably. I wouldn't doubt that they would go. No, I don't know. After the backlash of Boba Fett, I doubt they would go back to that well.
God.
You think that
because I mean they pulled in Mando.
Just butchered that.
Yeah, that was all Rodriguez. So either way, but no, it's just I liked it. I just wish they'd cut this episode like one scene short. Like, leave it here.
And it was a short episode. It was only like 28 minutes long, which is already a short episode for Mandalorian.
Yeah, then extend something else. I mean, I don't care. Like, but the fact that he keeps going back to his the Creed or whatever their group is called. I think he keeps calling it the Creed. And I don't know if that
followers of the way. He follows the Creed.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying like their group. I think they were also referring to the group as the Creed or something like that. It was kind of weird. But either way,
they refer to them as actually the Mandalorians.
Yeah,
because they believe that. I mean, their creed is the true way, and therefore they are the Mandalorians.
Yeah. So like,
they're a bunch of Heaven's Gators. Got it.
I mean, I'm glad that they've at least shown that they're pulling people back together. They're not as scattered and all dead like the last time we saw them, where she's basically like melting down everyone's helmets and shit, and she's alone. You know, so they found another place that they can chill for a little bit before the next person comes to fucking kill them. But like, and the fact that they're like, well, we know you just saved us, but you're not a real Mandalorian, so get the fuck out. And he's like, but I have shiny rock. And they're like,
I'm gonna go immerse myself in the revitalizing waters of Lake Minnetonka.
No, my problem with it was like, if I bring back proof.
Yeah, what's the proof? Hey, my armor's wet. That means I was in the lake. Because remember?
Yeah, it's like Grogu, hold the camera while I bathe here.
That's what I was gonna say. The camera, hold the phone. He's gonna take a selfie.
What's this shaky cam?
Here's the mineral water.
It's gonna be like the blurred out Bigfoot fucking photo video of him.
Oh, wait a minute. Is that why he wants the droid? Because the droid can record and they could pull it out of his memory card?
Actually, that might be a good point.
To test the atmosphere to see if it isn't poisonous whatsoever.
Yeah, because he can't go down there to see.
Believe.
Well, no, because the head. No, because the mask has rebreathers.
Well, yeah, but I mean, how toxic is it that his helmet wouldn't be able to filter out, say, certain toxins? Right.
I think the other problem is that.
Well, I think the other thing is, I think it's
the only way to do it
is by
sending a droid down first.
I don't think the planet's as fucked as they think it is. I think it was propaganda to keep them off the planet. You're going to go there and find out there's still shit happening there.
But they needed them scattered. Well, the thing is, you got to remember the weapons they used also were meant to destroy their armor. So the other thing is he can't go down there if that radiation is still there, because it'll fry his armor and kill him in it if they're not careful.
Another thing I don't understand is Mandalorians,
which is expendable. Sorry,
if
it's good, fine, go.
And Mandalorians use I don't know if lies is the right word, but they'll bend the truth to do what they need to do. I don't know why he didn't just say, no, I didn't take my helmet off. How the fuck would she fucking know? Only Grogu saw it.
I assume it's an honor situation.
Yeah.
You know,
It is
like
an
literally
honor
honor
thing.
code.
Yeah.
Because they've all taken their damn helmets off, and like you said, they're probably very much like that. But he's super devout. Like,
Yeah,
in
it's
case
like,
we haven't noticed, he's super
if
devout.
He's
bathe-
all in the Kool-Aid. He
if you
swims in the
bathe-
Kool-Aid.
He nearly died until the droid reminded him, "I'm not alive." So it's
how do you
okay
wash
if I see
yourself with your
face."
armor on? Like, come on.
Yeah, I
How do
mean,
you wash
well,
your hair? Can you
alone,
imagine how
you don't know.
scuzzy it's smelling there?
Yeah,
Ugh.
yeah,
exactly. right.
alone basically is what it comes down to. But like,
Well,
if you
I
remember
soap
back,
myself. I have soap dispensers in
but
my
he
armor. And
eats-
that's how I stay clean.
yeah, but he eats proper meals by taking his helmet off. He just does it in private.
Yeah. Or is he
But it's like-
liquefied all and drink it through a straw?
But
like,
but here's the
underneath?
question though: if he because Grogu's part of his house, for lack of a better term, can he never technically take his helmet off in front of Grogu, even though they're technically whatever
a clan of
bound?
two.
Their clan is like, so if he's so the thing is like, can you not take your helmet off in front of your
Filoni's
clan?
gonna make them Siths.
Oh God,
The rule of two.
No.
Yep.
no, because he's gonna put people into
No.
his clan
Because they're
he has,
not Sith.
he's got the glowy black stick. He's fine.
Yeah.
We need Siths back. There's not enough Siths in this. They're coming.
They're around.
No.
Well, this is
Hiding,
post. Yeah, no, this is
possibly.
post Empire. So there's somebody somewhere. There's
Yeah, the Emperor
Inquisitors.
somehow.
There's Inquisitors.
Yeah.
There's
So
Inquisitors
stupid.
somewhere.
Yeah, but Inquisitors aren't Sith. They're like Sith acolytes.
They're Sith
They're
enough.
force sensitive.
Yeah. They're
Well,
evil wrongdoers, but they're not
Ba-
Sith.
well, actually, that was just Vader's way around it. It's just like, well, you know, we can't really technically make more Sith. I'm just going to train them in everything I can do and my beliefs.
Yeah.
We're just not going to call them Sith.
Siths. Yeah,
Right.
they're just Inquisitors.
You're not
Yeah.
Sith. That's really what it turns into.
Wink.
You're not Sith. That one, we'll see. You
Mhm.
no.
Yeah. Nobody
Until I
in
get
here
rid
is
of the
Sith
Emperor.
but me,
Reva?
right, guys? Wink.
Reva,
Mhm.
you're definitely not Sith. You're definitely here.
You're something that rhymes with Sith,
Reva.
but it ain't Sith.
God.
I saw through you when you got here,
Mhm.
Yeah.
like a ghost.
Which is what she should become.
Either way,
Exactly.
so fucking
Reva.
Eric.
So we just spent an hour talking about that fucking show.
Yeah, no, it was great.
If you say so.
It's just gonna be every week now. what Ricky hates about the Mandalorian,
I don't hate it. I said I hate
and
the
then
overall
what
arc that
Rusty
it's
and
going.
Shoki tolerate about it.
I hate the change that they made to it. I said at the very beginning, it was fine. The episode was fine. It was an episode to watch. It's not
No
Boba Fett by any stretch of the imagination.
No quarters for
No.
Ricky because he hates change.
That's right. Motherfucker, what am I, poor? Walking around with things less than 20s in my wallet?
He keeps using that phrase a lot
Maybe.
lately. I'm starting to think he's feeling
He's
himself
compensating.
very. I feel like he's feeling himself very superior.
Mm. A
Almost
little
like a
smug
Sith.
there.
A little smug.
Dealing in absolutes.
Only,
Yeah,
yes,
he does
exactly.
deal-
I was about to
He,
say that.
he does deal in absolute. Only a Sith deals in absolutes.
I never
That's
said I
right.
wasn't a Sith. You just assumed it.
You're Slytherin.
You.
Oh, fuck you.
Actually, Ricky's
Slytherin.
Ricky's more of a Ravenclaw. That's the problem.
Yes.
Yeah.
I took the
He's a-
stupid test because Kara wanted me to.
Wait, are you a Ravenclaw?
Yep.
I know too much. I know too much about
And
that
then
fucking thing.
and then I told Kara, I was like, this shit is
Yeah.
stupid. She's like, what
Yeah.
do you mean? I'm like,
Because you
tell me
can-
what house you want me to be.
Yeah,
And she
yeah,
she
yeah.
named one of them the Huggle Muggles or whatever the fuck they were. I was like,
Hubble
okay.
Muggle.
And I went through and I
Huggle Muggle?
answered all the questions, and guess what I
That's-
was? I was a Huggle Muggle.
Oh God.
I think a Huggle Muggle is one of the Canadian schools.
Sure, whatever.
no. That's
and then
British.
then she's like,
We all know it is.
well, be the one.
Because only the British come up with ridiculous, retarded sounding names like that.
And what is Canada a colony of?
And then what's the other one? The Great Doors or whatever they are. The one that fuckface is actually a part of.
Which one? Hold on.
Um,
Gryffindor?
Yeah, that one. Like
Yeah.
she's like, be that, and I was like, okay. I went through and answered all the questions. I was like,
Be
she's
a
like, how do you do that?
Gryffindor.
I'm like, because I'm Ravenclaw and I'm a genius motherfucker. Like I can literally choose whichever house I want to be.
Yeah, it's actually you can easily manipulate the test to get whichever outcome.
It's like all those ones, like,
but they
like
take it
the-
so seriously.
What DC character are you? And I'm like, and like the question, it's always two questions in there that are the actual questions, and it's like, if your parents got murdered in an alleyway, would you A, grow up and wreak vengeance on all other fucking criminals in your city?
Oh,
would
so
you B,
that
move
could
on?
possibly be a leading question now?
Would you B, move on and just be a simpleton
is...
the rest of your life? Would you C, would you C, become
You're
a
not
hermit?
a genius if you don't choose vengeance.
Yep.
Ricky is Booster Gold.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you choose all these, like, they give you all these random, crazy, off the wall options, and of course you get vengeance. And you're Batman. Fucking surprise, surprise.
You like harvesting corn in Kansas?
Yeah. You like harvesting? Yeah, exactly. Do you feel like you might be from another planet?
Oh, that's actually kind of vague in the distance.
Yeah. Do you feel stronger when you step out in the sunlight?
You're like working on a farm and reporting the news?
Yeah. Do you surprise, you're Wonder Woman. Womp womp womp.
So on this traffic light, which color do you prefer? Green, yellow, or red?
Yeah, exactly. Those fucking I hate those.
You're possibly
things,
a Green Lantern.
I feel like
those Harry Potter douches take that shit serious, dude. Like, they'll do that question, and then they want to go get it tattooed on their bodies. Y'all need to fucking relax.
God.
No, they just get the entire map tattooed on.
Dude, Kara went out, and her and the boys have
and
matching.
They have Mischief Manager on their as their tramp stamp.
The boys, oh gross. The boys have, and like the footprints show up in white.
The Marauders map.
The footprints show up in white when you nut on them. Crazy. That would be an awesome lower back tattoo. When you pull out and jizz on it like a bullseye.
Yeah.
That's the footprints.
There's the Milky White Lake.
But like the boys literally, and I was like, oh look, it's nearly headless Nick. No,
nearly headless.
I just remember him because of John Cleese. Yeah, I love John Cleese, but like it's so crazy. Like, they did the stupid, Kara had us all do the test, and so of course for her and the boys, she went and got pajama sets that match their houses. I'm like, oh my god, you guys are fucking dorks.
That's too much.
Yep. Consume.
I mean, she's a Weasley anyways.
No.
Yeah, she's redhead. She's Weasley.
She's a Ravenclaw too.
That doesn't make sense.
She literally wears like Ravenclaw pajamas, so I'm assuming that means that's the house that she's in.
No, she's just jealous.
Look, Rusty's had nothing to say because he doesn't care less about Mandalorian. He doesn't care less about Harry Potter.
I want to hear more from Rusty.
About? Would you like to hear about
Rusty's going to show us his full back Harry Potter tattoo. Yeah. He's like, "Fuck you, Ricky."
I do have, for those people who have Harry Potter tattoos, I mean, I have a Transformers tattoo on my arm. So I mean, if you want a tattoo, it's
never seen it.
It's kind of a cyberpunk.
I got a Transformer tattoo.
Right. With the logo in the middle of the
We're talking about Rusty though. Oh, okay.
Right.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, it was actually something I kind of picked off the internet, but that's neat. You got to get that colored in, man.
I am like my tattoo lady was on like hiatus dealing with shit with her family.
Yeah, this was something I saw like on the internet, not with the Autobot logo, but just the chip. It was a cyberpunk thing, and I took it to a tattoo artist, and he did his own like spin on it, threw the Autobot logo in the middle of it, and
nice.
So now it's a cyber key.
Yes, if I push it,
it's the key to Vector Sigma.
I won't tell you what happens, but when my wife,
where do you have to stick your hand that activates a key?
Oh goodness,
because you put it all the way up to here. So you're like,
we're gonna be examining cows today.
Apparently,
exactly.
Yeah, like mine is. I reached out to Bobby. I had Bobby draw this up.
He's inseminating cows.
I saw so for myself, I had track dates show up in my email today, so I'm excited about that. I'll finally be able to get the car out on the track, so I'm planning the rest of my summer because I'm tired of seeing white shit on the ground. There's more of it falling right now, and that's just super annoying.
Speaking of the Marauders map,
that's right. Yeah, you're having a dumping out there.
We're having
going above freezing weather here.
Yeah, we're just hovering around 30 degrees Fahrenheit or 0 degrees Celsius. So snow is imminent all over the place. I have made two mistakes during my adventures of selling some of my masterpiece figures. The first mistake I made was I sold a Prowl to somebody and sent them Blue Streak. So I lost a figure there. Yeah. And then yesterday, one of the guys in the U.S. Messaged me and went, "Hey, I opened the Ironhide box you sent me, and there's nothing in it." And I went downstairs into the basement, and lo and behold, there he is standing on the shelf. I never put him in the box.
No.
So you look like a really shitty seller right now.
Oh wow!
I responded to that guy right away. He was like, "Hey, I opened the box and the figures."
Oh, you
got
mean
in there.
this one?
That's exactly what I did. I was
Just
like,
tell
I
him
took a
it's
picture. I
stealth
was
mode.
like,
Ironhide.
"Yeah,
He's
did
invisible."
you mean this?" And he's like, "Yeah,
Yeah.
that." I'm like, "Yeah, I'll package that up for you right away." And
Sorry
anyway,
about that.
Fucking
Oh
was funny.
damn!
Yep. So anyways,
Jesus
I had to
Christ.
deal with that.
I don't think he thought it was funny at the time.
Glad I didn't buy any
I-
Canadian bullshit.
No shit.
No, you bought some American bullshit.
Technically,
Oh yeah,
Chinese.
I'm working on for those of you who are on Patreon can actually see this. I'm working on a Mirage masterpiece comparison video. Still,
Wow.
man, this
Yeah,
is like doing 3 reviews, man. Honestly, right? Because you had to
Yeah.
like, I had to remind myself, like, why did I like this figure? Why did I hate this figure?
Why don't you just pull out
why-
your old footage and splice them together?
I never actually did
He
reviews.
didn't
of
have
these
footage
two.
for all those.
Exactly. Yeah. So anyway, it's a lot of work's getting in the way too. And the dogs, thank God, I'm down to 3 puppies, and 2 of them are going to new homes tomorrow. So I'll be down to 1 puppy and the mom. And
Nice.
another week from now, the puppy is gone, the mom is gone. So everybody's adopted. It's just a matter of
Where the hell's the mom going?
mom's going to somebody.
To the farm.
Just no. Family wanted.
Could
Oh,
be a
it's the
farm.
family that's moving nearby.
I didn't know you were
where
getting
I
rid of
live.
the mom too. I thought y'all were getting rid of the puppies.
No. We already had 2 dogs, and I didn't want another full size dog in the house.
Gotcha.
And the I've got a Morkie, Maltese Yorkshire Terrier mix.
Oh,
It
God,
doesn't
you didn't
quite-
say
Hold
that.
on. We're not walking past that. I've never
Yeah.
heard of that combination.
Yeah.
A
That is the
Morkie.
thing. A Morkie.
I
Maltese-
don't even call Luna by what the fuck her mix
Do you
is.
have a
That-
Mindy as well?
No.
Oh
Should.
God. Nanu.
That'd be a miniature. Hold on, what would a Mindy be? You have to. Is there a dog that?
No, it
ends
wouldn't.
in-
No, you would take a Morkie and is there?
Well, no, because
Indian...
anything miniature is min. So you just gotta have
Yeah.
min something.
Okay, fine.
So like
Just take Chihuahua.
miniature.
A miniature Dalmatian.
Sure. There, miniature Dalmatian is a Mindy. What it would be?
A
A
Chihuahua
Mindy? I
crossed
don't
with a
That
Dalmatian.
would technically be a
Mindy.
Mendal, but yeah.
Anyways, so
whatever.
the Morkie does not get along with the Shepherd mix that the mom is. She keeps snapping at her every time she goes by. So we're like, nope, we just send you on your way. So she's getting adopted by another family. And then I'll be down to my regular household again and probably not feel exhausted all the time.
You take a week off before you get back to racing.
Seriously. Yeah. Well, racing's, buddy, I'm a month away. Like up here, and it's not until the end of April if we're lucky, right? And that's where the temperatures come up above, like 10 degrees Fahrenheit.
Just put on snow tires and call it a different sport.
Man, you want to melt tires off your car? Go heat them up on a track, and you'll deteriorate your winter tires in no time. They don't do well on heat. They are soft.
Well, I'm saying do it in the snow is what I was saying.
Well, I've done that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like you're talking about a month out. I'm assuming because of the weather, so make sure it's good.
I did that
off-roading through the snow.
Yeah, and
so it's above zero here in sunny Alberta.
The motorsport club I'm with, we actually do that in the winter. We've actually got an old racetrack that's at the east end of the city, and we go and plow it and then run our cars around. But I almost tore the catalytic converter off the bottom of the car that I had doing it because you
couldn't see what you're driving over.
Well, no, it was so when you get into the turns, right? So you'll slow down and then you'll make your maneuver and hit the gas. Well, you'll build up, right? Your tires spin out. So then everyone's throwing snow into the same place. Well, the next thing, the track is no longer flat. Now you're doing this, right? Yeah. So you come into this thing and you just bounce over it. And then you hear your car bottom out and you're like, okay, I don't want to do this anymore. So,
so what you need is a car with a snowplow on the side of it. So you can just drift it around.
This isn't Car Wars. Yeah. This isn't Car Wars. We're not putting armor plating on our cars, but anyway.
But that would be cool, though.
It's like Mad Max,
exactly.
Like drifting through the corner, pushing all the snow out of the way.
Yeah.
And I've got what do you call it? New Age Firefox is still on its way. Thanks again, Ricky, for the tip. So I hate these scenarios where you're waiting for stuff to show up, right? Because I'm tracking it every day. I've got the tracking number for Canada Post. And yesterday it said, 2 days ago, it said it's going to be delivered tomorrow. Yesterday, it said it's going to be delivered today. Now it says it's going to be delivered in 2 days.
Which is Saturday, which probably won't be.
Right? So it went backwards. Right? And the
I
other
don't know
one, the other one I'm
Oh,
having a fun
God.
time tracking is the coilovers that I bought off a guy in the U.S. who used I asked him to use FedEx to ship it up to me. So I don't understand shipping companies. And Shoki, maybe you can enlighten all of us, right? But
There's nothing wrong with FedEx.
So anyway, I had the guy use FedEx to ship the coilovers that I want, and then I'm tracking where it's going. And he lives in Washington, which is, of course, just north of British Columbia. But the thing went south into Oregon. Is Oregon south of Washington?
That's odd.
That's where,
Yes,
that's
it
where
is.
that's where
Right.
they put it. Yes.
So it went south to Oregon, then it went over to Utah, which is immediately south of Toronto.
Yeah.
Now it left Utah and went to New England, which is almost as far east as you can go.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
east of Quebec now.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm in Ontario in the middle, and I'm going,
Mhm.
why didn't you just ship this thing? Why didn't you ship
Over.
it straight up to
I know.
BC? Please
I
go ahead.
know.
Please
I
enlighten me.
know.
I want to know.
It's
Major
called
hubs.
it's called lack of drivers and trucks and trailers.
Hmm?
They put it in there with anything going that way. Now, mind you, if you're on the West Coast, everything is that way. So the problem is, like, and I know I've seen a lot of people deal with this tracking wise. They're like, man, why did this thing go from New York to Kansas to Florida back to Georgia and then end up in Texas? I was
That's
like,
messed
because
up.
that's literally the best they could manage, because they didn't have another trailer going that way. And then sometimes it's about a train, not about a truck.
Right.
Yeah.
So when you see large changes of destination, like when it cuts across like 4 states in a day, train, not truck, possibly airplane, depending. But no, that's what's been going on. I mean, like, I've been following a lot of what's going on with FedEx, because of course I ship a lot with FedEx, not by choice. That's just what happens. And I've had that exact scenario where it's like, it's coming from Minnesota. It should be like doop, 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 you know?
Yeah, no,
And then it's like
it goes way over there.
And then I mean, I've had stuff literally come to the main Houston hub, and then leave, and then come back, and then go out for delivery, because it never got off that trailer, because it was they're like, shit, we're out of trailers. Let's load it up with the hot stuff that we have to send over there, and then we'll just bring it right back tomorrow. So I mean,
dude, that shit happens here too, because they threw a FedEx hub here. So I'll watch stuff come in on FedEx. It'll say it's here in my town, and I'm like, cool, I'll be getting it tomorrow. And then all of a sudden it'll pop up in Orlando or Tampa, and then come back again,
because it's bouncing it's bouncing with the trailers.
And I was just going to tell like a similar story too. I actually watched. So I've had instances where Eric from Madhouse has sent me stuff from Vancouver, right on the West Coast in BC, and it'll go to I'll actually watch it like land in Manitoba in the middle of Canada, and then all of a sudden it's in Montreal, which is in Quebec, which is on the east side of Ontario. So it literally leapfrogs the entire province and then comes back.
But doesn't all your stuff come down like the Iridod Trail or whatever they call that shit? Like they have to throw it on with the Huskies and run it over to y'all and all that shit.
That's polar bears, Ricky. God.
I did also, or whatever.
Get it right.
Also, the idea that it's an international package, so then it has to get to an international hub at some point to come across.
Mine's an international package.
Anyway, but this is stuff that he's received in BC and then packaged up with Canada Post and said, so it's being shipped domestically, and it still skips completely over the province. And again, I think it has
I'm talking about your coilovers though. I'm talking
even Canada doesn't think you exist, Rusty.
But I mean, like, it's the same everywhere, because I know that certain companies just laid off a whole bunch of people. I know FedEx specifically has been downsizing secretly, not telling people. They're just like, oh, your delivery date got moved back 5 extra days. Well, why is that? We have 10,000 less employees. So I mean, like, they're, because of the diesel emission regulations and all that nonsense that the government is now throwing down, they're literally basically no one's going to be able to function in California, because they're basically going to be removing all gas and diesel pumps over the next 10 years.
Well, I mean, in their defense, nobody functions in California already.
There is no defense.
Anyway, Mike, go ahead, tell us about your week. I know you've been busy.
Oh, hold on.
God.
Hold on. Before that, we never got to talk about Rusty watching the movie You People, and I just want your opinion.
I still haven't seen it.
Okay, so You People was, I actually thought it was good. it was an entertaining watch. You're right. The cringe factor in that movie makes me want to get out of my own skin.
It's so
Right.
bad, but it's on purpose.
It is. It totally is. Right.
Yeah.
And for anybody who doesn't know what we're talking about, right? We're talking like it's just there are just black and white scenarios in that movie.
Black and Jewish.
And Jewish as well. Yeah. That just make you want to leave the room. Right.
Yeah.
Like it just it
Dude,
makes
the
it
barbershop
so awkward. Yeah.
the barbershop. Wait, that was so fucked. Like when he walked him into that, when he walked him into a Crips barbershop wearing an all red jumpsuit.
Yeah. And the dinner scene, right, where the two founders are sitting having dinner and they're talking about blacks versus Jews, and man,
that conversation.
I just looked over at my wife and I was like, are we actually talking about this? Yeah, it was anyway.
The fact that they went there, and I said that
I know.
If you go back and look at my comments, they fucking went there. I was like, I cannot believe they went there, because you think they're gonna duck out. They're like, we're gonna lead there, and then now we're not gonna. No, they just fucking do it, and you're like, oh. That's why I think a lot of people need to see this movie, because they go there.
The only issue I had with the movie was that realistically, I don't think they ever would have gotten back together. Right? It's the families are.
Spoiler alert! You piece of shit.
Is that the one with Eddie Murphy and
Jonah Hill?
Yes, and Jonah Hill.
Yeah.
It's a good watch. It's a good watch. But I mean, spoiler alert, sure, but you can. It's predictable, right? At the end, like that they're gonna have a problem, and then
it goes
full
Disney. It goes full Disney at the end.
It's almost a Hallmark movie, except for the cringy parts.
And the blatant use of the N-word, yes.
Yeah,
not a lot of Hallmark movies with that.
Which I was surprised about, right? I'm like...
From Eddie Murphy?
I'm sitting there as a middle-class white guy going, so blacks are still allowed to use the N-word between each other? I thought that whole thing
hold on.
I don't think you can say the blacks. I don't think that's okay.
Colored people.
No, that doesn't work either.
People of African origin.
I'm a person of color, technically.
Oh my God.
We're all people of color. Elon Musk is African American.
He's African American.
Yeah, that's true.
Technically, I'm African American.
Yeah. Anyway.
If we all came from the cradle of society, or
but I'm just saying, like, literally, like, my people
and all branched out from
Africa. My people were born, lived, married, had families, and died on the continent of Africa. So technically, my ancestors are from Africa. So totally African American.
I mean, yeah, but if we all go back far enough.
All right. Well, let's not go there. Anyway, I thought it was good. I thought the movie's a really good watch. It's just be prepared. You're going to feel awkward, and that's okay.
Yeah, much like this podcast. It's awkward, but it's okay.
Oh my God, fucking fake ass Canadian.
I didn't say it. He said it.
He was the fake ass Canadian. I wasn't calling you one, Mr.
How
Guilty
dare
Conscience.
you, sir?
I don't know. I can't see you turned off your video. I don't know who you're looking at.
That's because I forgot how much I hate StreamYard, and this is why. I started this podcast today. I was on 91%. I'm already down to 38%.
Congratulations. Never stop trying.
Congratulations.
Okay, Mike, go ahead.
God, I've been so busy lately, running a shop and all that kind of crap, and closed a few contracts, which is pretty good, with actually a pizza joint that's opening up 2 more locations. So I got to do like 10. Yeah. So I got 10,000 brochures out of the way, trifold brochures. I just finished up getting ready or designing flyers, and the guy needs like 5,000 of them for their Calgary location, so he probably wants the same thing for the other location, which is like probably another 10 kilometers away from here. Plus he's wanting banners done, and so a little bit busy trying to catch up on an animation for a guy in Burbank, California, which is a lot of work. I had no idea animation was just going to be so hard. Oh God, what have I gotten myself into?
That's why I stopped doing stop motion, because it's a type of animation, but it's fucking exhaustive. Anyway,
it's bitching hard, but it's good. I'm enjoying that it's hard, because it gets you out of that normal wheelhouse of what you generally do and into something that I really wanted to do like years ago, which is draw again, right? Because graphic design is a little different than actually drawing. So, it's kind of getting me back into that wheelhouse of, doing what I originally wanted to do, which is great. Let's see. Had our 22nd anniversary last week Friday, plus my birthday on Saturday. So I'm the ripe old age of 51. Hooray!
Would
Ended
you
up
convert to
getting
standard? Makes them 67.
66, but who's
Celsius.
He's
Mm,
66 in
sure.
Canadian years.
counting? Yeah, that's right.
Actually, it would be 83 because y'all add 32, right?
Oh yeah, that's right.
No, there's some division. There's some.
No,
You
the
forgot-
problem is it's not an
You
even
forgot to
number,
carry the
it's a
3, Ricky.
percentage. Whoa, shit.
Math.
Yeah, plus on top of that, got a present from a friend of mine in the same guy that's wanted me to do this animation.
Oh, yeah,
So
you
he
mentioned
works in
that, yeah.
Hollywood. Yeah, so I got a direct replica from the original
Holy Grail.
Holy Grail that was in
Not
Indiana
Monty
Jones
Python's.
3. Not Monty Python's, right? Yeah, so a direct replica from
That would
that.
be a cooler one, honestly.
And
Mm.
yeah, that would be actually a cooler one.
I
But
don't
he
know if
needs
it'd be-
that
I don't
to
know if it'd be
make molds.
cooler.
No, because you'd have to have the mouth flap god like with it. Like it
Yeah.
just goes up on the
Oh,
wall.
the Terry Gilliam fucking
Exactly.
godhead. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. So, melting, decomposing away. So I got that. That was pretty cool. It was really awesome of him to send that.
So I gotta ask you. So when you're doing drawing, are you doing on paper or are you doing on the iPad or tablet?
No,
or
I got
anything like
a
Digital.
tablet here. Like
Oh, you do,
recently. Yeah.
that? Okay.
Yeah.
Just drawing on his phone.
So
Yeah,
Oh,
because
yeah,
I
yeah.
started.
Oh, my
I only
iPhone.
asked because I started screwing around with like some learning apps. Like I used to draw when I was, in high school and that, but I haven't
Right.
done it in years. But I just recently got an iPad with the pencil, and I
Oh,
started
yeah.
looking at like some learn to draw apps, right, where you can actually use the iPad to do that. So I'm sort of getting back into that. I was wondering, like, do you prefer paper versus tablet or?
I used to like paper. I really wanted to draw on paper, but I got this 15.5-inch drawing tablet.
Jesus.
And well, I mean, I kind of need it for the work that I'm doing and stuff like that,
But-
and it comes in really handy with animating as well.
Hmm.
And I love it. I'd highly recommend getting one. So this was only about
Buy me
$450
one.
bucks. Oh yeah, sure.
No
You
problem.
said get one. Okay, buy me one.
Buy me one.
Yeah, okay.
You're completing all these
Um,
contracts.
Oh yeah, well, I'm trying to put money aside so I can actually keep on.
Gotta-
affording
Mike,
gotta
you
people.
told me to get a drawing pad.
Yes, as in you
Help
get
me-
one. Not
Help me
ask
get a
for
drawing
one.
pad, Mike.
Does it have
Actually-
tactile feedback
Fine.
or?
Yeah, does it have the?
Yeah, it is. You can totally adjust it.
Oh, is that just the
you know.
just the pad though, or is it like the whole screen?
No. I mean, you got the.
No, I
stylus
mean the
along with
actual
it,
the
which,
thing itself. I'm saying, is it just the pad or is it the screen? Like a tablet, like a giant tablet.
it's a screen.
Okay. Well,
Oh, it is a
because
screen.
I had
It's like a
friends who
monitor.
just
Yeah.
because I had friends who had the pads that were just the contact point. and
The
you
Yeah,
black
you
on
plug it
screen.
into your computer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, I
No,
know a
no,
lot of people
this
obviously
is-
tablet now.
There's
That's
like
one reason
digital
I got
paper.
this. Yeah, because
So,
this is a touch screen flippy floppy computer, so that's one reason I got this, and I never used it
Yeah.
for that.
No, but I mean, I love it. I would highly recommend getting the XP pen.
Buy me one.
Sure, okay.
It's a Wacom. Wacom.
No.
No,
The
it's
way
whack
the
off.
Wacom one,
Wacom. Wacom.
the Wacom
That's
ones
what I
are
didn't wanna
like
say.
way more
Whack
expensive.
on, whack off, whatever.
Whack off, yeah, the whacker. No, the XP pen ones are just as
Not
good
sorry.
as the Wacom ones.
Mm.
They're like half the price, but they're
Oh,
just
okay.
as good. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would recommend getting the XP pen versions because I mean the Wacom ones is exactly the same thing. It's just
Yeah.
a higher price. You're just paying for the name basically.
Yeah. Basically.
Yay!
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
So
Get on Amazon,
let's
it's
see.
probably cheaper.
Yeah. No, that's what I did. Got it on Amazon on Black Friday. So it was like $100 off. This one regular price was about $450, but yeah, got it on Black Friday. It was like about maybe $100 off, something like that. So it was pretty good. Other than that, I kind of realized I haven't had a day off since January 2nd. I've been working straight in the shop here, plus on top of that, where I'm regularly working, like, the 3 12-hour weekends over at the plant. So still trying to work my way out of that, and watching a few movies and TV shows. Watched The Whale a couple of
Oh,
days
yeah.
ago.
How was that?
That's not bad. It was a pretty good movie. Like Brendan Fraser, the award that he got, the what was it, Oscar or whatever? I would say well deserved. That was a really, really good movie.
Was
And
it Oscars? Have the Oscars happened?
was
Or
it
the
the
Golden
Oscars?
Globes. It's one of them.
Yeah,
I think he's
it's
nominated. I
one
know
of
it's
those.
nominated. I don't know.
Yeah.
If they, I don't know if they did it yet.
It was yeah, very well done. What's her name? The girl that was in Stranger Things, the redhead there. I forget what her name is.
Oh, Sadie something. Right?
Sadie. Yeah, she's in it.
Yeah.
She plays the daughter. No, it was very well done. Very, very well done. I would recommend watch that movie. It's
Should have been good Ellie too.
yeah, she would have. But yeah, it definitely has the feels in there, especially towards the end.
Yeah.
I won't say what happens, but you know.
Well,
spoilers
what is
if
it
you wanna
actually
watch it.
about? Because I don't know anything other than he's like fat.
The premise is okay. He teaches writing at a college or university. I forget which. It's a university, I think. But he's stuck in his apartment because he is so large, right?
Okay.
And whenever he gives his lessons online, because that's the only way he can teach his classes, he basically blacks out the screen, right? He doesn't want anybody seeing him. And the reason
Like
why
Rusty
he's
right now.
this way, yeah, and the reason why he's this way is because this person that he loved died, committed suicide. Plus, on top of that, you have this other dynamic where he basically left his daughter and his wife for this person. And that causes a lot of tension. And then you find out that the lady, the caretaker that's taking care of him, was actually the guy's brother that killed himself. So because of all of this, you know.
Oh yeah, spoiler alert for anybody who hasn't seen this movie yet.
To compensate, he eats.
I would assume that wasn't the spoiler.
No, that's not the spoiler. So, you know.
So he's like everyone since 2020.
Yeah, essentially.
Sit at home, do everything via Zoom call, and eat.
Yeah, and eat. So, no, yeah, I definitely won't spoil what happens at the end. It's
because I do want to watch it. I just had no concept of what it was about, other than because like there's no like I've skipped the trailers like in general because I keep putting it in front of YouTube ads, you know, whatever. Yeah. So I skipped the trailers, but all they ever show is the whale, and it shows him just in the fat suit or whatever, and then something, and it's just like, okay, give me some context to the movie. You know, this is a TikTok generation. If you can't get it out in 10 seconds, I'm not interested in whatever.
And I mean, there's some other things that you know also happened that is kind of part of the story of sorts. You know, don't want to get into it because time constraints and whatnot.
Go watch the movie.
But go watch the movie. Yeah, you like normally sometimes you can tell if an actor that's playing a fat guy is in a fat suit, but there are times where they show him say out of his clothes, like if he has to go to bed or something like that, and damn, you really can't tell. You could swear to God that that's actually him with all this massive amounts of weight on him.
Deep fakes and face replacement to be what they are, like it wouldn't be that hard to get someone who's like 600 pounds and looks remotely like Brendan Fraser, and then just do that. But also I do know they did put him in some makeups and whatnot. So
because I was like really looking to see, can you actually really tell that he's in a fat suit? No, you really can't tell.
But I mean, they're so good at blending it out anyways. Like even if there was like blatant like line around his face, they just like not anymore. Just looks like all
there's a lot of dynamics at play that really play off one against each other, and a lot of feelings that are drudged up from all parties involved and stuff like that. And no, it's really, really good. I would highly recommend watching this movie.
Okay.
So
where'd you watch it?
I purloined it online.
I actually
put it on a backup drive and watch
it. Find it at a legitimate source and watch it that way, people.
I think I saw it on Prime.
Probably.
Yeah, I don't know if I didn't actually.
There's so many movies that are up for rent right now.
Yeah,
for like $3.99 or whatever they do for the weekend.
Which actually,
I'm not against.
Speaking of streaming stuff, not that Mike did that, but anyway, Mike. So first off, Mike, do you have Netflix? I have Netflix.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
Hey,
definitely
so-
looks like-
Have you been hit with this password sharing thing yet? That I'm sure you guys in the US have probably heard about, but it hasn't been implemented
I've
yet. but
heard about it, but
it's up
I've-
here.
Yeah, I've been hit with that lately. It's like, no, not doing that whatsoever.
Yeah, did you?
But-
But did you actually get prompted with you have to specify what your primary location is? Because I haven't seen it yet on any of my devices.
You know what? We haven't
Yeah, I
touched-
have.
we haven't
You
touched
have, eh?
Netflix in a little bit, so it's possible
Yeah.
that the prompt
So they're
is there.
saying they haven't rolled it out in the US because they were going to roll it out in the US, and there was so
Oh,
much backlash that they went,
Yeah.
okay, we're just gonna
try it in
hold
the
off.
commie countries first.
That's exactly what they did.
Yeah,
So they went,
exactly,
well,
yeah.
fuck it, then we'll go and do it in Canada and some of the other
And
countries.
it's just that
And-
Canadians will just roll over. It's fine.
No, man,
Doesn't matter. As
Yeah,
as soon as they do it anywhere,
dude.
somebody will figure out which country
Well,
doesn't have that law, and then everybody's
so-
just log into those
but-
VPNs.
But here's the problem. I use a VPN on my phone.
Yeah.
So if I were to watch my Netflix on my phone, which every now and then I'll do because the wifey will
Hmm.
be on it, it'll say, nope, not your real account, and it'll lock me out. It'd be like,
Yep.
hey, fuck off, but it could also say that because she's watching in there and I'm watching in here, even though we have separate profiles,
Hmm.
it could throw that down too, because I think part of it was like it was actually neglecting the profiles and just saying,
No,
If
that's
it's-
not what they're so
No,
what they're looking at is what
it's
the
the
IP
IP.
address.
I know they're saying the
is.
IP address is different,
Yeah,
but like,
No,
but
hold on. It's the
But
IP
it's-
address that's assigned to your house.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying.
It's not the each
So-
device, right?
So if once again with the VPN,
Using cellular service, you'll have a different IP address.
and
Correct.
yes, so if
Correct.
if she was watching it on her phone, because if she's not on the Wi-Fi,
right.
that would be a problem. Same
Yes.
thing for me,
Yes.
especially even if I'm using the VPN,
Yeah.
which would all be fucked. And that's why it's so stupid. It's
Yeah.
like, look, you guys lost viewers regardless, but you still have millions of viewers.
Yeah.
Fuck off. Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. It's like, okay, I could see if someone is in Maryland and their account is billed in Texas. Clearly
Yeah.
something's up there.
Yeah.
Sure. But if you're literally within the same area, obviously something's
Yeah,
going on.
Here's
It's
the
like,
part
proposal.
here's the part that we're not like people aren't really paying close attention to. If they get this all rolled out and it locks down like that, your internet provider is going to raise your fucking prices through the fucking roof, because now
yeah.
you will be required to be signed into your Wi-Fi in your own house to be able to watch your fucking Netflix. So they're just going to drive the prices up.
So
I
so
guarantee
actually,
that's
that
coming
might-
too.
hold on. Don't forget. So there's a 30-day window. So you only have to log the device into your home every 30 days. So that doesn't matter.
well, the
At
other
least
thing
up
is, if they're going to do that, then they are now tacking on a selective or an elective program into a utility.
Yeah.
Netflix becomes a fucking utility. Fuck off. It's now part of my
Mhm.
internet bill.
Mm.
That's
Yep.
the reality if they've pushed this. And that's what will happen here.
Yep.
They will say that if you're going to lock it to the IP of that person's internet service provider in their home, it has
Yeah.
to be considered a utility, because that's the only truth about it.
Mm.
You are
And
now
then-
providing it on the backbone of a utility.
And then I've been getting these consistent odd calls from Rogers, which is like a cable service provider,
Our cable
cell phone,
service,
blah
yeah.
blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
And they've been constantly calling, wanting me obviously to sign up. Well, I don't basically have any service, just internet, and I just watch my streaming services, and that's about it, right?
Yep.
And they're like, well, you can get Disney Plus. It's like, I
Oh,
don't
yeah.
want Disney Plus. And it's like, well, if you sign up, you'll save X amount of dollars, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, and what about Disney Plus? It's like, well, you'll get it free for a year. It's like, well, what if I don't want it?
Yeah, but then next year it's $200.
We'll sign you up anyway, even if you
Yeah.
don't use the service for free. They did it in the States with Verizon. If you
Yes.
took their service, and you'll get it regardless whether or not you use it or not.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, well, this is interesting. So this is a way for basically Disney to enter into a contract like they did with Verizon. They're doing the same thing with Rogers
Yeah.
to make it look like their numbers are so high, full of subscribers, and basically saying, we have all of these subscribers, but a lot of people don't want to end up watching it anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Gee,
Mm.
Disney,
That's
faking
nothing
it.
new. That's nothing
No,
new.
I know. But,
But that's how I got Hulu originally. Hulu was attached to my phone bill. Like
Yeah.
back when
And see,
back
now it's
when-
part of Disney too.
So Hulu was part of my Sprint whenever I signed up. Whenever I got my newest smartphone, before they all got before Sprint T-Mobile merged, and then they got rid of that deal. So I actually lost that free Hulu, which sucked because I lost all progress. Had to make a new account.
Oh,
So I was like, fuck.
Wow.
That's one reason I missed 2 years of My Hero Academia, because I was watching it on that Hulu account. And I'm like, I'm not paying for Hulu again. So but now there's something wonky between, and I don't know if they actually did what they were supposed to, because we had signed up for Hulu and then we signed up for Disney Plus, and then once they merged, they're like, well, we're gonna just go ahead, if you want to bundle this together. I was like, okay. And then they're like, okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna merge your old Hulu into here, and we're gonna adjust the price when it gets there. And I don't know which way it's gone at this point, but all I know is they're gonna keep charging for this shit. Well, charging more. Sorry, they keep charging more and more every year, every 6 months.
Well,
dude, it's like, honestly, it's like between
Nobody's gonna win it
the
anymore.
FTC, like they're gonna have to do something about them, because they're gonna start out. It's gonna cost you more than your actual internet service to watch stuff on your internet service.
Yeah, the internet service will just keep going up in price, because the problem is the only pushback you really have against shit like that is to say, well, then I'm just not going to stream. I'm just going to get regular cable. Nobody's going back to that. Nobody's rewinding back to being forced to watch shit at certain fucking
on top of that, with
times.
Disney, with one of the Bobs announcing, what was it, about maybe a couple of weeks ago, saying that they're going to cut about $4 billion to their streaming service. They're in trouble. Because
they're also firing like
content on Disney Plus. Plus, they're laying off like who knows how many people on top of that. Disney is so much in trouble right now. It's
here's the other problem: their largest market, we're almost at war with.
So
Disney
has become the problem is Disney has become the Aurora Bora or whatever. It's the snake eating itself. It's putting it
Ouroboros
business. It's doing too much.
But it's also. But it's all of these streaming services in general. And I think it's just, and I hate saying this because I hate government intervention in our lives, but at some point it's going to have to be served. If it's going to become a point where terrestrial television essentially is gone, you can only access stuff via streaming, whether that's news or anything else like that.
We're almost there already.
That's what I'm saying. The further it goes, the further it's just going to become, sorry, we're rolling all of this into the internet bill. It's like, and people can select which of the services they're paying for in their internet bill. And you don't get to raise the prices because it's going to be based on usage, just like every other utility. So, and at that point, it's going to have to be like nanocents per gigabit or something like that, because the whole world's going to have to function on it. And they have to do better. And I just talked. Was it you I was talking to, Rusty, about the gigabit internet and stuff like that was coming in? I forgot who I was talking to.
Oh, Elon Musk needs to just make free internet and streaming for the world and be done with it.
Well, he's working on that, but Starlink is very inefficient right now.
Because once that comes, then we can just move on to the part where the robots start taking over, and we can just be done with all this shit.
But here's the problem with that: is they can completely just go. Completely blacklisted. You can't access anything because it's not just going to be your internet. It's going to be the same satellite controls your phones, controls everything, and it's all going to be tied into your social media. And they're going to have that shadow secret score behind the scenes of.
Hold on, I gotta go grab my tinfoil hat.
It's not even a tinfoil hat. It's what they do in fucking China. It's just reality.
China is a communist country. It's not a reality. We aren't in a communist country.
We're pushing that direction very quickly. Unfortunately, we're shadow ruled by a communist country. Everybody is.
Okay.
Well, actually, they technically are.
Yeah. Ricky, tell us about your week.
I don't have enough time to tell you about my week, man.
What are you talking about? We're only at 2 hours. We got 30 minutes left. Go.
And that summarized it perfectly.
But we still have topics to talk about.
We got one last topic. Well, okay. Was there anything outside of the TV shows we talked about that's important? Oh, the one box you got, at least.
I got 2 boxes, 3 boxes.
Tell me about these boxes. I want to know.
They had junk in them.
Yeah, it was junk.
Awesome.
Some junk that some guy needed to get rid of.
Yeah. Like he's like, I was gonna throw it in trash. I'll send it to you instead.
Yeah, pretty much. I was gonna give it to the kids. The kids at Goodwill.
Got a bunch of World of Nintendo stuff for my displays from Shoki. And I got my very first ever Gundam.
Yes, he did.
My
Also
one
from
and only,
Nice.
because I'm not going down the Gundam rabbit hole. But it's
Yeah, you don't need to go down that rabbit hole.
I just don't care enough. I've only ever watched the one series. So
This,
it's the, what is it? The
May
lupus?
I present the whole?
What is it? It's the lupus variant,
IBO.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was
from
that was Gundam Barbatos Lupus.
Barbatus lupus. Yeah.
Yep.
Um,
Not the Lupus Rex, but the
I haven't
lupus.
really messed with any of the stuff inside there. There's like still a bunch of stuff to do it. Now my question is, are they snap together models? Like what is
Yes.
it glue together?
Let's snap together.
Snap together.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's still more stuff, and then I'm probably gonna go back and panel line it because it's very plain looking.
Yeah, it's not panel line because I intended to paint it,
Yeah,
and I never did.
but it's cool. I mean,
I painted the frame. The frame
it
is
trips me
custom
out.
painted.
Like my neighbor came over, he was showing me some of the custom stuff he was working on his classified stuff. And I was showing it to him, and I was like blown away by how much articulation is built into a fucking model kit now. It's crazy.
Dude, it's fucking Bandai.
Yeah,
Pretty
They,
cool.
they almost invented articulation in toys.
Yeah, so but still, it's in a model kit, which still blows my
by the way,
mind.
speaking of the classified line, whatever happened with your Tomax and Zaymont? Did you get?
I never
them?
finished them. They're
no?
still in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
He had a problem with the paint.
No, the last ones were fine. I just never finished them.
Which one was peeling on you?
That was only on the shoulder pad thing was the soft plastic, and
Yeah.
Sean told me how to fix it, and I've just never gone back and fixed that.
Okay.
Yeah, you got to use the right primer.
Yeah, I got to use a primer. Period. I didn't prime it the first time.
Oh yeah, that'll definitely do it.
But yeah, so I have to go back and finish those. I don't know. I'm like one of those. I get really into it. I'm really into it, and then I'm not.
Yeah.
So I got to get back to it though, because I want them to be done and look nice. Because I get frustrated. Like the more hiccups and setbacks there are, I'm like, you know what, fuck this shit. The gray plastic's fine, but it's not fine. So then they just sit over in a fucking box.
Yep.
That's
what I did. Go ahead.
It's the same problem I have when I'm doing especially when I'm trying to do like the transformation videos. If the transformation frustrates the shit out of me, like I just gotta put it down, right, and walk away from it. But I know I should finish it, but I don't really want to. But anyway,
I like getting that. I like getting that frustration on camera so that people really understand, because like a lot of guys when they film stuff, they'll just do it as flawlessly as possible, edit out any mistakes, or when they screw up, they'll go back, undo it, and then transform it perfectly, just so that people assume, just to show the transformation. It's like, no, I want to show the problems. Mind you, I don't do that anymore, except for
feel my pain,
except potentially on Patreon. But it's just like, why do that? Like, why cut out the problems? The problems are because imagine somebody watches that thinking it's going to be a flawless, easy transformation because you made it look like that, and then they just have all these issues back to back. These tabs won't come undone. The legs are stuck together, but if you twist them just this right way, they'll pop apart exactly as they're supposed to. But if nobody shows you that, nobody shows you the frustration. Like, I've had videos where the transformation on something took like fucking 20 minutes because it was just a fucking dog, and it's like, the only thing I edited out was whenever I had to stop to like look something up. Like, it was like, okay, hold on. It's like, look at the instructions. Okay, I'll edit this out. It's like, but I showed all the frustration. But then like, say like Ben's Collectibles, when he does it, when he transforms like arms and legs, things that are mirrored, he only shows the one side.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay.
Exactly.
And while that's great for editing, what if there's actually a minor difference that you didn't point out because you didn't think about it? Because sometimes,
or if somebody's following your video step by step, they then have to stop, rewind it back, and then try to mirror it in their head while they're doing it.
I just do it at the same time.
Transform both legs at the same time. One hand.
Well,
one hand on each
exactly.
leg.
Because for the most part, most of the time they're pretty asymmetrical.
They should be mirrored, but hell, nowadays. Yeah. You don't know. You could have half a truck cab crammed into one shin, and then the other
one
side,
the whole tail end.
Yeah,
of the truck.
there's like one little tab that isn't on the other side. That I forgot to put that in, or slide it in, or whatever.
If you don't fold this one piece exactly right, it's going to look like he's got a dick hanging out, but in fact, all that should be tucked underneath.
That part shouldn't be there.
I shouldn't have probably included that motion, but you get the point.
Yeah, but that's only in a Michael Bay movie.
That's like watching Bobby's latest one with the double evil or whatever. The double evil.
Double dealer.
The fans hobby double dealer.
And when he got to double evil is the other guy.
Whatever.
I thought No, I thought the name of the figure was W.
No, Double Evil is the
Overlord.
What's his face? Overlord.
Oh, that's Overlord.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry,
Yeah.
wrong one. Either way. But the point is, like, when he got to the backpack transformation, and I'm just like, I don't know if that's right. And then even in the middle of the thing, he's like, is that right? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, I'm answering it. It's just like, I don't think that's right, Bobby. It's like I'm talking to the screen. And it's like, and then he's like, hold on, wait, maybe I have this wrong. And then,
right.
and then he's like, and then he like gets through it later. It's like, wait, no, if I got to here, then it's just, it's like, okay, at least he kept all that in the review, where a lot of guys would have edited that shit out.
The Dreamstar one was a perfect example. Like how frustrated he got with
the jet
the
thing.
jet?
Yeah, I haven't been
the
watching those because I'm
slingshot.
not interested. Yeah,
dude, you have to watch that one, dude. Like he literally, like, you swear to God, he's about to toss that bitch through the back of his fucking DTOF, like, I mean, his display while he's doing it.
Yeah.
No, he gets it all, like, it's in a jet shape, but none of it's tabbed together. Like he has to lay it flat on his thing, and like everything's like pulling apart. He's like, that's it, I'm done. I'm not reviewing any more of these fucking things for this series. When it's all said and done, if somebody wants to mail me all the jets already in combiner fucking parts mode, I will put it together on screen and show off the combiner. I am fucking done with this fucking thing.
Yeah,
that's funny.
See, fortunately, unfortunately, I never had that problem really, because I never had anybody send me some shit wasn't interested in to review like that.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, but if it was me, I'd have been like, no. I was like, I wouldn't even gotten that far. I'd have been like, it's like I've only quit. I've only kind of quit one review. And like at that point, I just skipped the rest of it. Like I just like, okay, look, we're stopping here. I'm gonna do the rest off camera, because one thing is fighting it on camera is a pain.
Yeah.
Like and if you're doing the talk through, then you're doing 3 things at once. And you're like, fuck this. I'm gonna sit over here with the instructions, probably gonna go watch a video or two, and then I'm gonna get it and then show it off because I'm done. It's like, no, not fighting this the rest of the way. And then you get those people, why didn't you show the rest of the review or the rest of the transformation?
Because I was about to cut my wrists at that point, and
it's like, well, I don't know if you noticed, but it's a giant pain in the dick.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Anyway.
Yeah.
I would also like to point out the fact for all of our listeners that Ricky got Landoed.
Oh, I was going to show that too. I also got this piece of shit.
Yeah. So I was Landoed.
What does that mean?
So
look
Bobby
at the
got
fucking screen, dickhead.
Yeah.
I can't. Your name's no way. Lift it up a bit more. General Lando.
It's literally the Black Series Lando figure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yay.
And so it's a piece of shit that gets passed around, and now I gotta fuck it off to somebody else.
So Bobby got Landoed, then I got Landoed, and now Ricky's been Landoed.
Bobby Landoed you?
Yeah, Bobby Landoed me.
Who Landoed Bobby?
I don't remember. It's in the video though. If you're on the Patreon, you got to scroll back a few months.
Sorry, did Shoki? Did you send it to Ricky?
Yes.
It was in there with the fucking Gundam.
Don't fucking send me this thing. Like, don't.
I'm not sending you anything, motherfucker. The cost of that gag to send it to your fake ass invisible country.
No, it's not worth too much.
$30 US at least.
Yeah.
Minimum.
So,
this thing ain't worth 30 cents, so I won't be doing that.
And then I'll probably get paid with duties and taxes on the other side. So.
What's even funnier about it is they're still on the fucking shelves. That same figure's still on the fucking shelf.
Because nobody gives
Walmart that
nobody
has
wants
shit.
it.
There's like 30 of these things.
Nobody wants them.
Yeah. Nobody gives a shit about the freaking
nothing. It's just they made too many.
The movies.
Like nobody needed more Landos, and now there's so many.
And it's literally a basic ass, and they were charging full price for literally just a figure. I don't see a single.
I think
he has
there's a gun in there somewhere.
He has a little tiny gun right here.
Little pistol, and that's it.
And by the way,
him and that gun.
By the way, it was in that shape when I got it, so it's like it's already beat up.
Bobby beat it the fuck up. He was mad at it and punched
it. Probably. So,
oh my god, Bobby's touched this. I'm saving it.
So I don't know how it started, but I
smell
know
it,
that
Ricky,
they were. So I know
it smells
it was
like crabs and anger.
Yeah. Yeah.
Crabs, possibly gin too. The angry man's drink,
covered in children's tears, and
now it's got some Texas dust.
And then I've added Florida tree sperm to it because these trees are sperming all over my fucking back porch.
There you go. There you go. Just add it.
Shoot a video of it just floating in your pool.
No, it cannot.
I
No, you
wouldn't
cannot
disrespect my
destroy it.
pool. I
Include
literally wrote Shoki as soon as he sent it to me. I'm like, I hope your feelings aren't hurt when I set this motherfucker on fire, because I was gonna take it out in my fire pit back there and set it on fire.
And what did I say? You cannot
I don't know,
destroy
some
it.
bullshit about
he
he thinks I'm a teenage girl who has to follow the rules of a chain letter, and he thinks
This
I
is a
still won't
chain
set that
thing.
motherfucker on fire.
Oh God, nobody follows those.
I
God,
still
you know what-
have one.
You know what you should do? You should like sign it or something and then send it on to somebody else and have
That's
them
what we
sign
should
it.
have done. We should
I
have signed
started
it.
something like that. Somebody sent me a
I didn't consider it. I should have.
a new age fucking Bumblebee, like the first one that was by itself.
Yeah.
Right.
And or maybe Magic Square, I don't remember. But they sent
Probably
it to me
Magic
like, hey, here's a special gift with something that I bought, like one of these type fucking things.
Uh-huh.
But I started talking with him. I was like, dude, I'm gonna pass this on to somebody else and I put like a little letter in there, be like, dude, just don't say where you got it from. Don't say what it is. Just take a picture of it wherever you're at.
Right.
And then just tag it in the realm group and say, you know, this is Bumblebee in Florida. This is Bumblebee in
that thing.
Ohio.
Yeah, I remember that.
This is that.
Yeah.
And then the letter said, then just put your name on this list so that when it goes to the next, it doesn't end up coming back to you again. We wanted to see how far it would go. I got it to the next person, and they've just had it this whole time. I'm like, dude,
they didn't send it on.
and they don't even collect legends. And I know exactly when I contact. I'm like, dude, they've asked me, like, the original dude asked me like 5 times already what the hell happened to
supposed
it.
to be passed on. Yeah.
Oh man, I forgot. And it's just fucking sitting in a closet somewhere now.
That's the problem with those things, right? As soon as somebody stops, right,
It fucks it all up.
just dies, and
Exactly. The magic
But
dies.
But in this case, this is just a curse.
No.
Yeah.
Not
Why
yet, it
Bobby?
isn't.
Bobby sent it to me because like I know why he sent it to me. But the thing is like I actually sent him some cool stuff to review and whatnot. It's like not like I fucking sent him anything just to be a dick. And then he sent those back with the stuff he was returning to me. I was like, you motherfucker.
Was it the little beast box things or whatever? The aliens?
Yeah. But I sent along that April O'Neil as a Bride of Frankenstein, and no idea what he ever did with that. Yeah. So it's somewhere. I assume it went to a new home. Because it never appeared on video, so I assume it just went to a new home. And then that's how Lando's ended up down here, and then now in Florida. So now we need to find somebody on the West Coast to send it to, so it can just make it all over the fucking country. But as I said, I still have one, so
just ship it with FedEx. It'll go all over the fucking country.
That's true, but I need it to actually get somewhere
and get a picture taken.
Which
worldwide tour.
Speaking of, oddly enough, Ricky. I thought you were getting vengeance on me really fast because I ordered something on Amazon that got shipped from your town, and it was like coming right back. I was like, "What the fuck?" It was like the day after your package gets to you, and you send me that message, I get a shipping notice from your town. I'm like, "Uh-oh."
Oh, you're sending it back?
Sending it. Yeah, but at
I'm an asshole. I would one up it though. I'd like go find like 10 of them. And over
no, because then you're just gonna. It's like the Ring videotape. You can't get rid of it on your own. You have to pass it to someone else.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it will come to life and kill you. Somehow. Okay. Either way, no segue really. We'll just try to get through this last talking point.
So yeah, I'm done with my week. Thanks for asking.
You were. Well, let's see.
Took me 10 minutes.
Let's fill out the rest of Ricky's week. Worked a lot. We're at baseball tonight.
Bears to complain about life and
well, I mean, realistically, like we talked about most of the shows, you haven't had time to do much else. You to get some God of War in.
Yeah.
No, my week's over. Move along.
Well, we'll talk about God of War once you finish it.
My week is over. Move along.
Okay, I'm moving. Moving.
Now you've made it awkward.
Moving. Just a little at
feel
a time.
violated now.
As well, you should, because you're in Canada.
Yeah.
Your rights and all that. So either way, no hard segue here to a problem that has become very prevalent on the internet currently. Actually, it's a problem in real life that is being shown on the internet.
Everything.
Yes, besides everything, Mike. Yeah, you weren't here when we had the initial conversation for the setup here. So there was an alarming video shared within the last week on all the social medias of a teacher being brutally assaulted by a very large student. And the original story was that it was over her taking away his Nintendo Switch, which he was playing in class. That actually was not the case. It may have been they had a discussion about it, but she did not.
No, she told him to put it away.
Yeah. So she never took it from him, which was the original thing. But either way, if your teacher takes a thing from you because you're doing it in class, fine. Nothing gave you the excuse to knock her the fuck out.
And then beating her while she was
then
unconscious.
Kicking her and beating her while she was unconscious on the floor.
She was in critical condition. They thought she wasn't going to make it.
Yeah, exactly. They
and
pretty much thought she was going to die.
Yeah. And I did see that Ricky's wife, who is a teacher who deals with these types of students, the ESC students.
Correction, my wife is the boss of teachers who deals with these types of students.
Well, still, she does.
No, I'm giving her flowers, man. She got a master's degree and moved on up.
And that's fine. But the point is, she posted, and then, I did make a comment that basically this kid, and I didn't realize, you can see in the video, he's large, but to put it literally in perspective, he's 6'6", 270 pounds.
Yeah, he's like 17 years old. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, he's a monster of a kid.
And I said, basically, it's like that's not a kid. That is a grown ass man. And I was misunderstood. It's like I literally wasn't talking about him being a kid or being a man pretending to be a kid, whatever. I meant size wise. Yeah. He's bigger than an average NFL football player. Yeah. The average NFL football player is 6'2", 245. Yep. This kid is huge. If out of context, you would not know it was a child, so to speak. Yeah. And it was a ridiculous beating. Now, mind you, has a history of violent attacks. This is like his third felony
level assault charge. Yeah.
Yeah. And he's only 17 or whatever. So there's already something else going on there along with his whichever type of disability he has. I don't even know if they said which it is.
Another disability.
Well, it's it's just a learning disability situation. But either way, but on top of that, I've also seen other videos of teachers either being verbally assaulted by students, like yelling horrendous things in their face in front of the whole class, like getting in their face, like ready for violent intent, to students and teachers literally throwing down, like fists. Like,
yep. Well,
and all of us here are over 40, especially Mike.
By a long shot.
By a long shot.
Thank you.
And it we had a similar conversation
by a metric mile.
Yeah, there you go.
The metric miles kilometer. So either way, but like, is it just a new thing? Because when I was a kid, though, if somebody got uppity with a teacher, either other students got involved, or the teacher kicked them the fuck out, or called somebody to come get them, resource officer or just whoever, and you never got to a literal violent throwdown. Like, you never did. And it's like, what the hell? And I mean, I know it probably happened, especially in like athletics, where like somebody would mouth off a lot to the coach. And even Sean told me a story not the other day when we were talking, and it was one of the football guys mouthed off to the coach, and like they said, okay, fine, we'll take this off the field. And so the coach went and straightened that fucker out, and he never had a problem again. You know, it's like, but like, is it just a general lack of respect that has happened?
It's a lot of things, and this has been going on. This basically, you could trace it all the way back to around the mid 60s. Okay. And yeah, I'm going that far back because this is essentially where all of this kind of crap has started. Okay.
I wasn't born.
You know, there used to be a time where you were allowed to, you know, for example, put up the 10 Commandments in school, where you were actually allowed to pray in school and stuff like that. Right. Oh, no, we can't have that anymore. That was taken out around the mid 60s. Okay.
True.
Along with that, what you also see slowly is a slow degradation of, you know, replacing, let's say, moralistic lessons with everything has to be about you. Everything has to be about self. That ideology starts to creep in, and it starts raising a kids in school into, you know, it's about me. Everybody has to have their 15 minutes of fame. It's all about your feelings. It's not about facts anymore. It's about your feelings and how you feel. And coupled with the fact that, teachers for, let's say, the past, I don't know, let's say 20, 25 years have had their hands tied saying, oh, you can't do this anymore with students. You can't tell them that. You can't tell them this.
Well,
you can't, like when I was in school in the 80s, you misbehaved, I got a friggin' leather strap on the hands.
Yeah.
And you learn never to do that shit again. You can't even touch students.
Did y'all's principal have a board of education on their wall?
Oh yeah.
The corrective stick, as it were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
I always love the joke of board of education.
Yeah. You take all that authority away from the teachers and from the principal and all that kind of stuff. You can't do this to the students. You can't correct them. You can't use harsh language because you might hurt their feelings. They're children after all. Oh, well, coupled on top of that with the home life, with what's being shown in society, oh, you don't need more than two parents. Oh, it's okay if you have two dads or two moms, or it's okay if you have a single mom or a single dad or something like that. The systematic destruction of, what it means to be a family, replaced by, what Hollywood says what a family should be. It's all that combined together into this big giant melting pot. And unfortunately, where you have a lot of, and I don't mean to what's the word I'm looking for? Making it look like it's just, say a certain ethnic group's problem or something like that. But you have a lot of.
Oh, here we go.
No. But it's a lot of families
be that way.
Exactly, but to not make it look like that, right? You have, let's say, and I'm not just saying black families, but a lot of them
lower income is where
lower
you're getting.
income, okay,
which has nothing to do with skin tone, because my wife who does this for a living will tell you it's 90% of her students are white trash students.
That's why I'm not trying to make it sound like that, but in some communities, there are a lot of, where the father isn't there, right?
Yep.
And generally a lot of people say exactly. So
or just a broken
don't
home
have,
in general.
Exactly. You couple all that together, it's going to be brought out into schools. A lot of frustration with family home life. Plus, on top of that, confusing kids on top of that with stupid friggin' gender ideology or, race ideology and all that kind of crap. Gee, I wonder why. I'm not allowed to discipline my students. One of them gets upbeat, they're going to beat the crap out of whoever's in the way, and it just happens to be a teacher at the time. It's a systematic, very carefully planned out, almost you could say, of the degradation of society.
Get the foils.
Starting with young people. This is just the way I see it. So,
go ahead, Ricky.
You don't have a father or you don't have a mother in the mix in the family unit.
Well, you don't have anyone to teach you respect for others.
Exactly. You don't have
whether
have
that's
society
in church.
saying. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but some of these kids have both mother and father in.
Well, I know, but
it has to do with parents not being
it's
parents.
Also,
here's
it's also
the
a
shift.
lack of teaching some sort of morality.
The actual change is parents don't want to be parents anymore. Parents want to be their friends.
Yeah.
That is the issue.
Yeah,
but that is the issue. Period. In the story. All the other shit is just symptoms of the problem.
Yeah.
And the biggest problem is parents don't want to parents. Everybody wants to go out and fuck. Everybody wants to make kids, and then they want to fucking be internet parents. And that's not the same thing.
If you don't let me do what I'm going to do, I'm going to call the cops on you, mom or dad.
I'm going to call CPS on you.
Let me tell you one time when I was a kid, my mom, we had now this is in the late 80s, early 90s. So I was like in third grade. So like 89, 90.
Okay.
I remember they had this big thing at school where they brought in, the police officer and the whatever they call them, DCF, wherever you're at, the Department of Children and Families. They brought one of those people in and they started talking to the class about child abuse. And they literally gave out business cards with a number on it that said, if you are suffering from abuse. Now, they broke down what abuse was. They didn't say if your parents spank you, if your parents are beating you,
Yeah.
If you're being abused or neglected, call this number and somebody will come and help you.
Mhm.
So everybody got the card. Some time went by. I did something fucking dumb. My mom's gonna go whoop my ass. I pulled that card out like it was a fucking riot shield.
Yeah.
And I was like, if you put your hands
Get
on
out of
me,
jail.
I'm gonna
Get
call
out of
these
jail
people.
free card.
And my
Ricky
mom
was
said,
one of those kids.
my mom said, okay, hold on. She went and grabbed, the home wireless phone with the extender metal fucking thing.
Yeah.
She pulled that motherfucker out. She turned it on. She dialed every number except for whatever the last number. Let's say it was 9. She dialed every number except for 9. And then she held the phone out. She said, all you got to do is push 9. She said, while you're pushing 9, I'm going to beat your ass. While you're talking to them, I'm going to be beating your ass. When they pull up out here in this yard, I'm going to be beating your ass. When they're trying to pull me out here and put me in a police car, I'm going to be kicking your ass. So you go ahead and do what you got to do, and then I'm going to do what I got to do. And I just went like this. I hung up the phone, pushing the antenna, went in my room, leaned over the bed and said, get to getting. Like, just let's get this shit over with. And let me tell you, that was the last time I ever tried that bullshit with my mom.
Yeah. But see, like, now Rusty has had points but hasn't been able to talk.
No, it's just. I mean, it's just a shift in society, right? We're not allowed to discipline the kids anymore. The teachers definitely are not allowed to discipline the kids anymore, and the parents will walk into. So my ex-wife was a teacher, and one of the things that she would and Ricky, I know you said that your wife too, but she would tell me stories all the time about some kid was acting up in class. Wasn't much that she could do about it. So their recourse was to call the parents in and say, your child's being disruptive in class. And she would tell me every time, almost every time, 90% of the time, that as soon as the parents walked in,
what did you do?
It wasn't even before that. As soon as the parents walked in, she went, that's why you are the way you are.
Because of the parent.
Just looking at the parents, she went, oh, that's why you are the way you are. She told me a story about a mother. Hair. Yeah, no. So she had a mother show up because the daughter was being disruptive in class, basically threatened her. So her and the principal called the mother and said, you have to come get your child because, they threatened the teacher. The mother showed up in a robe and a lingerie.
Oh God.
Walked in and started screaming at the principal and my ex-wife, the teacher, going, how dare you treat my child like this and blah, 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 blah. But they were like, what are you doing showing up? Like, why are you out in public like this?
I was in the middle of a shoot.
So, but that's one symptom, right? But again, we've taken away the ability for teachers to
discipline.
We don't even have to get to the discipline part. Just control the situation. Right.
Well,
we've taken the ability.
Yeah, because they shouldn't have to discipline. It's the parents that should be.
But we've taken the ability for the parents to discipline their children, because to Ricky's point, right? The kids know now with the access to all the information that they have. The kids know now that they could, and again, my ex-wife has heard a couple of stories about parents telling her that their children called the cops. Because of stuff like they took my TV away from me. They took my iPhone away from me, right? Like stuff like this, right? So
I've seen
the kids know that they can. The kids know that they can use this stuff as a weapon now, right? Now that doesn't. I mean, we go back to the 17-year-old that beat the teacher. That's systemic of what we're talking about. But at the same time, like I just wanted to go back to the statement of he's a child, but he's not.
He's a child by age, not by size.
Exactly. I don't care. I don't care how old this person is.
Yeah.
They put somebody in the hospital.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And there has to be there has to be repercussions for that. We can't just brush it off as that person was a child. And I will tell you, I had a neighbor whose son beat his mother on a consistent basis from the time that he was 15, because and there was no father in the house, and she refused to press charges. And I had discussions with the police. About, is there nothing you can do? And they said he's a minor. As long as he's under the age of 18. They physically put him in a cop car one night because he took a swing at a cop that came into his house. And they still said they couldn't press charges against him because he's a minor and the mother doesn't want to press charges. So what do you do?
So what? Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
now
What do you do?
teachers have the ability to push charges, but all that'll happen is that kid will just get moved to a different school.
Yeah, ultimately, and then the
It's
parents
not
going
going
to
to change
rage
his
about
behavior.
that. But
No.
it does come down to one, lack of respect. We talked about that.
Yes.
It comes down to lack of parenting in general, but
Which
then
is
also
the lack of accountability. Parents
Yeah,
don't want. Parents don't want.
it's not my problem.
It's not
it's
me.
the school's problem.
It used to be when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I remember a friend's mom coming into class and snatching him up by his ass, like right in the middle of class in front of everybody, because she got a phone call from the school.
And take him out in the hall and whip his
Oh
ass.
yeah, man. No, you'd be lucky he didn't get his ass whooped on the way out the door. Like, and nowadays the first thing a parent comes in and goes, "Well, what'd you do? Why'd you do that? Why'd you take his switch away? Get the fuck out of here."
So so my mom also worked with kids like this, but it was the what they call the was it IBU? No, it's not IBU, ABU, alternative behavioral unit. And it was the kids who all were disturbed in some way. They weren't really special needs. Some of them
violent,
were, but they were violent or they had outbursts or anything.
They call
like
that EBD now.
Either way, it's probably different regionally as well. But she did that for years, and like some of them honestly just needed parenting, because there was one that ran into my mom years later. He had already graduated and everything. Actually, it was a girl. I'm sorry, it was a girl, and she said, "I'm going to college now because you did something for me that no one else in my life was doing." You know, you helped me be stable. You helped give me structure when I didn't have that. And now I graduated high school, even though I was told I would never make it past ninth grade, and I'm going to college. All because someone gave a shit about their lives and actually did something, even if it meant being the disciplinarian when you don't have one. Because and it's a cliche, but like, those who lack structure crave structure. And if you give them nothing, they're just going to rage until something happens. And then when nothing happens, the rage gets worse.
Exactly.
Like, you just keep getting worse and worse. I think we lost Ricky entirely. So he's probably moving over to his computer to finish, but either way. But it's a big problem. And I could tell stories about my nephew-in-law. You know, the sheer amount of violent actions and sexually violent actions he's taken, and then lied, and then called the cops on other people and manipulated the police and his own parents. And then when he got caught finally, then he still lies and he still manipulates and he still does, and he lives a structured life. Now he does something have wired in his fucking head. He's been to jail, you know, and once he got old enough, he's gone through the system. So I got to read.
I probably sound like donkey shit now. I had to go to my speakerphone, so I'm going to mute so it doesn't.
It's okay.
Back on y'all.
That's cool.
It's okay. We're not gonna. Well, echo cancellation's on, but it's fine.
Yeah.
But the point is like, sometimes there's not much you can do outside of therapy. Like, I do think that like even therapy is a form of discipline, because it helps realign what is going on with you and gives a direction for it. If you have no direction anywhere and you're just abandoned because no one wants to bother, no one gives a shit, even all the way down to your own fucking home life, because your parents are too worried about doing, like, your mom's on her OnlyFans and dad's never home because he's working the oil fields and just sends money home on the weekends. You know, you don't have anybody.
That sounds like a very specific scenario, Shoki. Are you trying to tell us something?
No, I wish I worked the oil fields. That's some good fucking money. But no, it's just, it's the point of like, and Mike's kind of right. When we started abandoning a lot of those morals in the 60s and 70s, in the kind of free generation, and then they went a little too free, and then the 80s were somewhat corrective, because now you had a different generation. But I think at this point we've skipped almost 2 entire generations of anybody taking accountability, like Ricky said. And now we're at the point where people like us have kids. Well, most of us anyways have kids. Half of us have kids here. And hopefully those kids have been taught anything along the lines. I know Ricky's kids are really fucking good, but that easily could have gone the other fucking way. Real fucking easy. If you if Ricky just
if it
said,
was up to their mom, it would have gone the other direction. She's definitely one of those, I would rather be your friend than your parents people.
And I was gonna say, it's like, clearly, you know, with the way your divorce happened, you know, somebody's being the guiding force of their life. But like, and I know plenty of people, especially divorced people, who have the problem. Now we're not co-parenting. You're raising them to be a shithead. You're trying to do the opposite.
Offset all that shit. I have to be the disciplinarian to the point.
Yes.
Like, to give like a quick story real quick on what you're talking about. When we had separated, she was out on like the busy road where we live at. It's called 200.
Right.
And Isaac was still, my youngest was still little enough to, and you're going to edit that, was still little enough to,
That his name.
That he was in a car seat, like a toddler. He was up and walking around and stuff. He's maybe like 2 or 3. And then my oldest is like a year and a half older than him. So I've always had a rule that when we got out of the car, I do the hands-on maneuver. Like, I would take the oldest out and then tell him, as soon as I close the door, I'm like, now put your hands on the car, follow me around the car, walking your hands across the car to the other side. So that way I was always between him and the car with any moving vehicles, and I knew where he was right there.
Yeah.
So then I would get around there and I'd take out my youngest and hold him, and we'd go about our business. Now, when we separated, my ex was telling me she literally, like, she came over to bring the kids over to my house, and we were sitting down, and she was gonna have dinner with us, and she starts telling me this story. She's like, so I got Gabriel out. God damn it. I got him out.
Said their names before.
Okay. Dude. So I got him out, and I went to walk around and get Isaac, and he took off towards the street, like the main thoroughfare. Like, it's busy. It's like a 6-lane like road. Like, it's busy.
Oh,
yeah.
And
God.
He took off to the road, to the sidewalk, and I turned around to go get him, and I had unhooked Isaac, and Isaac slipped out of his seat, and now he took off past her. So now both my kids are on the sidewalk running down this main thoroughfare playing a game of catch me if you can. And she's telling me this story. We're sitting at my dinner table, and she's telling me this story. She's sitting over here, and then Isaac's in his booster chair, in his baby seat still, because he was still in like a baby seat. And then Gabriel's in his booster chair in the thing. And while she's telling me the story, I just turn and look at him, and he just puts his hands on my arm. He goes, "Dad, I told her I was sorry, though." And I look back at her, and I look back at her, and she's like, "He did say he was sorry." I was like, "So what was the outcome of it? How did you finally catch him?" You know how she caught him? This is how it got to the "I'm sorry." She goes, "You guys better stop running, or I'm going to tell your dad." And she said, as soon as she said that, they dead stopped, turned right around, walked right back to her, grabbed a hold of her hands, and that's when the "I'm sorry" happened.
Yeah.
Like, and that's the difference between her and to this day. Now my kids, the oldest is a teenager, the youngest one's right behind him, and she's having a hell of a time with him. I was like, that's because you spent over a decade being their fucking friend, and now all of a sudden you want to be a parent. You have to fix all that shit you've messed up for a decade. You don't get to just flip a switch and think they're going to act different, because
she doesn't get to piggyback on all your work.
Oh no, and the boys are smart. They know in my house the rules, and they know how I expect them to act out in public. And when they're with me or Kara and we go anywhere, like, they act a certain way. Other people have seen my kids out with my ex and her family, and they say they're fucking terrors. They're just running around, do whatever the fuck they want to. I said, nah, in my house they don't. So I had a little conversation with him. And I said, look, man, I said, I don't care that you're at your mom's house. I said, people know that I'm your father. That means these people think I let you act like that, even if you're at your mom's house. I said, we're not going to do that no more. They said, okay. And let me tell you what, they don't do that shit at their mom's house. She's like, what did you do? What did you say to them? I'm like, I told them to act like they do at my house while they're at your house.
You told them to be accountable.
Yep. And that's why I tell him. Isaac got in trouble not too long ago, man. He spent the whole weekend grounded, like, and he thought I was grounding him like his mom grounds him. No, he was grounded for the whole weekend. I had him scrubbing baseboards like the whole weekend.
Dude.
And
so it's like one of the commandments: honor thy father and thy mother. And they're doing it for you.
But now it's honor thy internet service provider.
And I told him, I was like, look, man, you can't be acting like this, dude. Like, these teachers having to message me. I got like 3 messages in 1 week from different teachers. Wow. I was like, I don't care what your reasoning is. I said, if they're messaging me, and they all start out the same way, he's such a great kid. This is such not his behavior. That's the only reason why we're saying something to you. I said, I don't have to spank y'all anymore. I spanked them when they were younger. I'll admit that shit on the internet. I do not give a fuck. But let me tell you, it's been damn near a decade since I've had to, because I don't have to, because they know I will.
Yeah.
And, they learned that young.
I got whipped.
Yep. I didn't beat my kids.
Oh,
I
same here.
spanked
Yeah.
them.
Rusty?
You know what I mean?
I got whacked with a ruler every time I tried to use my left hand.
Oh, really?
Your parents were trying to break you the left hand. That's old school stuff, right
That's
there.
not my parents. My parents are like, he's left-handed. The teacher,
The teachers.
you're not supposed to use a pen with your left hand. That shit.
Even though he was left-handed.
Ah.
Yeah.
Catholic school?
So,
I think it might have been when I was that age. Yeah,
that sounds like a Catholic school.
So that's literally the accountability that I always make sure that they understand that they are responsible for themselves. And I've set up with them before when they were young, because they started doing that, we all called it tattletaling when we were younger.
Yeah.
Like Dad, he did such and such and such and such.
Yeah.
And I noticed it started being a cycle. Like they were both taking turns with it. I was like, okay, time to fix this bullshit. And I went in there and I sat them down and I said, look, here's the deal, man. When y'all yell dad like that, here's my options. I can spank you, I can ground you, I can take away all your stuff, and I can yell and scream at you. Those are my options. I said, when you call me in at this level, these are the things I'm able to do for you guys. I said, if you're smart, if you don't think whatever your brother did to you requires any of those things, you'll work it out amongst yourselves.
Yeah.
And if it goes beyond that and you come and get me, I'm there for those things. Mm-hmm. And let me tell you, Karen, I used to laugh about it. We'd be sitting on the couch. You'd hear, Dad. And then you hear the other one go, whoa, I'm sorry. Let's figure this out. Like we would listen to them in their room. You could hear them.
Call Dad into this.
Like they're like, it's not that level yet. They're like, hold on, man. All I did was change the channel, man. It's not a need to call Dad in here. And like we'd laugh about it on the couch. I'm like, see, now I don't have to. Yeah. Because I've taught them they are now soft. They're liable for their own actions. If they bring me in, it's just like in the real world. So, you're liable for how you act and treat people around you. If you do something beyond that and a cop has to step in, there are certain rules that he has to follow and only certain things he's allowed to do. So once you've involved them, know that this is the options you've now left on the table. Before that, you have the chance to talk it out and work it out amongst yourselves. At this point, somebody's going to fucking jail.
Yeah.
So that's what I taught them.
That's what I was going to bring up is like basically what you've established is the positive side of authoritarianism, where it's like there is an authority to report to. So in your home, it's you. And actually you've extended it beyond your home by having them realize, it can get back to me that you've done these things. So now I can know what you've done away from me. And then they
always freak out because I have the dad magic. Because I'll be like, hey, I heard such and such happened in school. Like, how'd you know? I'm like, man, I know everything.
Dude, growing up in the digital age, you think that would not be possible. But like in the same thing, like what you just said about cops is like the next level up would be some type of either teacher. In this level would be teacher, which then next level principal. And then after that, once you get out of school, it's either boss, and then in your own job, and then police. And these are all people you don't want to get involved in your own squabbles. And that's if they have to get involved, shit's not necessarily going to go the way you want.
You just mentioned it, and I've had that conversation with them. I've told them both, especially Isaac's in baseball, so it's and this is what I tell them when they get really into something. When they really get into something, I'm like, just know that you have these things. That means I have the ability to take these things away from you. So figure out how you want to handle this. Like once you like something, that leaves me something that I can discipline you with. They start acting crazy at school. Like Isaac got in trouble for how he was talking to his teachers, like being disrespectful. Like he wasn't rude. He was rude for him, not this level shit we're talking about. It was just rude for him.
I used to get I bought a Foot Locker years ago when my kids were little, and I'm like, you act up, whatever it is that you like or that I bought for you or whatever it is that you enjoy.
Whatever thing,
you act up, it's going in that Foot Locker. And there's gonna be
I give them a chance to learn, and then I go full tilt. Like they the old school, you leave it laying around, it's going in the garbage type shit, like our toys and stuff when we were kids. I did that with my kids. I very much did that. I told them, I was like, look, man, if I had to come in here, everything's going in the garbage bag and I'm tossing it. So the first time I literally had to do this, I tossed it into my closet. And about 3 months later, I noticed they were handling their business. I just slowly started slipping their stuff back into their stuff without saying nothing to them. Now, some time goes by. They got too fucking happy in their little situation. They started doing it again. And I said, look, if I come in here, I'm throwing all your stuff away. I'll do it. They're like, okay. Still kept happening. So this time, I made them get a garbage bag, go in their room, put everything, all their new toys, anything that wasn't where it's supposed to be, went in this garbage bag. But wait, because there's more. Yeah. I then made them stand out on my front porch until they saw the garbage truck coming, walk their happy asses to the edge of the fucking curb and put it in the garbage can, watch the garbage truck dump it and take it away. But wait, because I'm still not done. I then made them march their happy asses back into their bedroom, get their piggy bank, and give me every fucking penny they had out of there. I said, because that's all my money you just threw in the garbage. And I made them pay me for their stuff.
Yep.
So, and let me tell you, I never had to do it again. I'll look in their room, like, your room's looking kind of messy. They're on it. Choom.
Yeah.
Gone.
Yep.
Yeah. Consequences.
To put a positive spin on it, though.
The positive spin, kids are respectful kids. Like,
exactly.
If you ever meet my kids, you can tell.
But for those kids that are, say, in juvie, for example, that are, let's say, arrested for doing stuff like this, beating the ass out of teachers and crap like that. There's a guy,
or their mother,
or their father,
or what happened in our situation,
or whatever. There's a guy in Dallas, Chad Hauser, and he's a chef, and he used to own a restaurant, and he's doing something for these kids to try to help them, and he's got a restaurant, Cafe Momentum.
Yeah, I think I've heard of this.
Yeah, and he's trying to help these kids that essentially have no structure, have no discipline in their lives and whatnot.
It's a new version of Kiddie Boot Camp. Yeah, but
of sorts.
But it's a different situation, but it's the same concept that they did with, like, when Maury or all those other shows took the troubled kids, sent them off to some type of boot camp to give them structure, and half the time it really worked.
Except it's in a restaurant. Right.
Yeah, but it's a different version, but it's the same idea.
It's teaching them something to put their energy towards.
It's applicable skills too.
And a lot of these kids are coming out of it and saying, thanks to you, I'm now doing this or doing that.
They were given structure and a target. They were given something. Yeah. And it made a difference. Exactly. Well, probably for most of them, there's probably going to be like the 5% that can't be helped in that situation. Like my nephew.
But I mean,
discipline doesn't help him because he does have a problem. Yeah. No, I appreciate that part. Yes. But it also comes down to we having to outsource parenting.
Yeah.
Because we're too lazy.
And that shouldn't be happening in the first place.
So interesting. I was going to bring that up, right? Is that back to the point of we've taken away the teacher's ability to help with raising children, right? To be a coach, a disciplinarian, or whatever, right? Yeah. And right. So teachers, they spend almost as much time with our kids as we do, right? Because the kids are in school all day long and sometimes more, right? So we've taken that structure away from the kids as well, which doesn't help. Plus, the teachers are not getting paid enough to give a shit anyway. Yeah. Right? Like, I think teachers should be fucking millionaires for putting up with our kids' bullshit and our bullshit.
A lot of them earn over 100,000 a year. They're getting paid well enough.
That's a completely different loaded conversation that we can have another day on teachers' pay. I'm not arguing with you that there should be different compensation for doing the work. Yep. But also you have to prove you're doing the work, not just being an overglorified babysitter, which they call themselves half the time.
No.
But we'll talk about that another day. We do have to wrap up.
Yep.
It's like,
right.
So it's like we've gone a decent amount, and Ricky's got to go. So it is what it is. But I think that was at least a good conversation. Ricky, I know we talked about it earlier, but it would be nice to get Kara on to talk about these type of things as well, and like its own special thing. If we can make that happen at some point.
I was thinking you could do it. Just have her do like a rant. Like just a monologue or something. You could just like tack it in as
a rant / conversation. Because also, if I could get the teachers that I know to also come in, so we also get regional perspective on teaching, would be interesting. Because I know a lot of teachers, both of my friends and families.
Plus, do a comparison of homeschoolers and those that go to school.
That's very different too. A wholly different situation there. But I think that would be a good conversation if we can make that one happen. Just we'll be in contact on that one. But either way, guys, thanks for listening to this what started out as a very rough episode. And but either way, of course, go like and subscribe to all our things down in the description below. And of course, if you have an opinion and thoughts on these things, write into NowYouMadeItAwkwardMail@gmail.com instead of just in the comments. But we like comments too, which at the moment we don't have any comments to read, so that's why I didn't read any at the top. I got one kind of spam comment. I immediately deleted it. So it is what it is.
Damn bots.
And yep. But since we got to wrap up quick, I'm not going to do the full outro. We'll just skip to
Okay, bye.
We'll skip to the K bye.
Bye.
Yes, K bye. Also, I'm in, like Ricky managing to type the whole time while doing this.
I see her rolling up, Uber black Cadillac, high heel boots and a sexy body full of tats.